Welcome, everybody, to Wednesday Night Modern. We're in week 2 of our Modern League here at Nerd Rage Gaming in lovely Buffalo Grove, Illinois. My name is Haviva Goodman alongside Dominic Stryker. How you doing tonight, Dom?
I'm doing howdily doodly. We're getting some weird to start our day.
Oh, yeah, you know if there's some merfolk in the building, I'm going to get them on stream.
That's true. Tag yourself down the bottom right. Do you want to be John or Owen?
I'll be Owen.
Okay, I'll be John.
All right, cool. All right, Josh will be on the play here, rocking Merfolk.
But
a card that's gotten a little stronger in recent, or a deck that's gotten a little stronger. Some recent include Tishana's Tiebinder. What a heater of a card. And Grixis Wizards making its way onto Andrea Mengucci's tier list for the first time in that very bottom spot in C tier.
This is I would imagine, wizard battle.
Oh, yeah.
Because merfolks basically only get to also be wizards.
Absolutely, yeah. Besides merfolk, I think, what are the wizards in a merfolk deck? Pop
Tishana's
quiz.
Tiebinder.
Indeed. The rest are just like...
I have to imagine the Trickster's a wizard. That feels wizardy.
I should know this. I'm really letting Merfolk players down right now. It's been a hot second. I think it's on my desk. Hold on.
And we have Josh here making it very clear to Ray what Josh drew for the turn with his turn 2 Aether Vial.
Oh, yeah.
Right? There's a card that you definitely want to see and play on your first turn. So playing out on turn number 2 says a lot to me, your opponent.
Ooh, I think he might have forgotten to tick up his Aether Vial.
Good guy Ray here pointed out.
Very nice. I will suggest for people at home to put that little die on top of your deck so that you can't miss it. When you go to draw, you'll see that die and remember it. Of course, you got to remember for the next ones, unless you want to continue to put dice on top of your deck there. But getting that Aether Vial ticked up is very important, so you don't want to miss a turn on that. So shout out to Ray for being a cool guy there, reminding Josh on his trigger.
And we talked about the merfolk here on the right side with Josh, but on the left side, Ray on Grixis Wizards, and legitimately we are playing Grixis. So this is not just the Izzet Wizard shell, but we have cards like Terminate, Shieldred, alongside playing the Flame of Anor, Snapcaster Wizards packages.
Also, he has some in his deck list. He's also rocking some Molten Collapses out of Ixalan as well. The new Dreadbore.
If we get the Molten Collapse online, we could hit Aether Vial and everything we're trying to kill here.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be a fun play.
As Josh plays, Deep Root Pilgrimage?
Deep Root Pilgrimage, yes. A really great card out of Ixalan. Whenever a merfolk of yours, one or more merfolk, become tapped. Create a 1/1 merfolk creature token with hexproof.
Which will make me intrigued to follow along with Josh as we go through turns. If we were playing this as a value piece, every time I go to combat, I make tokens, or if we're sneaking in, there's a combo that you could play with this card alongside a wizard from Shadowmoor.
Oh boy!
Yeah, there's something buried deep in the wells of the modern card pool.
We'll see if maybe chat can remember exactly what that very niche sounding card is.
And if we're unaware, I believe it's a blue-white hybrid card, so Josh doesn't even need white mana if it's a possibility. But I imagine alongside cards like the Mutavault they have and just Merfolk in general, you'll be able to get enough triggers just getting excess 1/1s for free as your turns go on.
Absolutely. I use this card alongside the Schooner from Ixalan in my standard Merfolk deck. Because you can just crew on end step and get some extra value there if they don't attack or whatever. And then also continue to gain value with crewing and that kind of stuff.
I just want to shout out Wizards in general. If you looked at Lost Caverns of Ixalan and Wilds of Eldraine, every subject and theme all overlapped in ways that you kept rediscovering. You're oh, this interacts well with this part of the set, with this part of the set, with this part of the set. It's clearly purposeful that the Deep Root Pilgrimage was meant to synergize well with we have merfolk and we have vehicles. It's so clear that they put care and attention to each little card in sets.
Absolutely. The R&D department at WotC works really hard. There's ex-players, game designers, all sorts of different minds in collaboration to build a whole Magic set, story, and all this stuff. And it really just comes together beautifully. I don't know if you saw the debut stream for Murders at Markov or Karlov Manor.
I didn't watch it because I heard it spoiled the story.
So it kind of did. There's a lot of thought that they didn't spoil the whole thing. They just gave you the first spoiler kind of.
As Ray finally here able to just like actually cast a spell, sitting on piles of removal. You put a Lord of Atlantis, back to Atlantis it can go.
Indeed, indeed. Get into the graveyard there. We'll go back to Ray's turn here. Yeah, Karlov Manor had this beautiful 18-minute intro video where they blended the story and the mechanics with awesome voiceover, and I was enraptured. I wanted to watch it again. It's like the coolest way to tell a Magic story I've ever seen in my life. It was really, really well done. Highly recommend it. It's on the official Magic YouTube channel if you want to watch it. Go check it out there. Very excited for that set to come out, but we've got tons of Magic happening here. We'll see how that set eventually affects the modern format and all the other formats as well.
With this double Mutavault out of Joshua, I'm really hoping we see our own internal synergy here that we can set up to animate one and then tap it for mana and start making 1/1s off the Deeproot Pilgrimage here.
Ooh, that's an interesting play for sure. I was kind of thinking animating, swinging, using this Aether Vial to pump them up.
Right,
sort
the
of
old school
there.
tricks.
Yeah.
And then if we're like trying to play this staring game with which clearly is a Grixis deck of some kind on your opponent's side, you could just start using your mana to start cranking out 1/1s on each turn if you really wanted to.
Ooh, instead we're gonna opt for a Field of Ruin.
This is a Ghost Quarter, straight up
it's,
old school.
All right.
Yeah, so we're forcing Ray to go find this basic.
Sick. I dig that. 3 colored decks definitely need access to all their colors, and Ray doesn't seem to lean too heavily on any one of his colors, so having all 3 is pretty important to him.
Like, we have the like slight locking here of like we're gonna make it slightly more difficult for Ray to cast Shieldred if they want to. This Delta is pretty priced into getting us a black source now for sure. Very small things, but when you have cards like Ghost Quarter, Field of Ruin, it's so easy to just target down a Triumph. Like, you will know it'll put in the work taking down one of those cards.
I do want to note this Cavern of Souls Josh has in play as well. That'll be really important in a counter spell deck like the one Ray is playing. So we'll see an uncounterable Lord of Atlantis here. I don't know what's floated in Ray's hand there. The first one he cleaned up with a Lightning Bolt. We'll also see a Vodalian Hex Catcher here come out at sorcery speed. That one does have flash, so you can be a little cute with that as well.
Speaking of flash, Snapcaster Mage.
Indeed, indeed. Very fast wizards here. I think the Hex Catcher is actually a wizard. That was one we forgot about earlier. Yeah, Dominaria United there.
And now we have instead being able to use our Snapcaster Mage, get back this bolt, kill off the Lord of Atlantis, and Ray is probably really incentivized to say, go to blockers, to be able to trade off this Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, it looks like now we're going to move to combat. We've got a pumped up Mutavault.
And it looks like not using our mana. I thought we were taking a combat damage. We're cracking this Pluto Delta to gain access to a Terminate so that we can kill off a creature here and then trade off with this Snapcaster and really just build our own board wipe.
We could animate if he's responding to the Mutavault activation, he won't have a window, but if the Mutavault has successfully animated, we could sacrifice it to counter this Terminate and keep our Hex Catcher alive because of that bottom text on the Hex Catcher. All of our Merfolk do become Curse Catchers.
Yes, making them Curse Catchers, having that Force Spike-esque ability, and it looks like Josh is in fact using it here. Instead of turning the Mutavault on to do it, just making sure that we hold on to the one that's active, ready to go to combat.
Oh, interesting. So he decided to sack the Hex Catcher itself to counter that. And we'll go to combat there. Smack for 1. We will get this Pilgrimage trigger.
Yep, and we see the players pointing at us, so we may be trying to acquire a Merfolk token.
I can go bring them one if they need it. I have one on my desk.
We'll see here just real quick. And I think Josh learning that Ray's incentivized to go to blocking here. Here's this beautiful Merfolk token making an appearance.
Oh, there we go.
Trading off the Snapcaster for the Mutavault. Trades all around.
All right. Josh had a bunch of creatures on the board that got dealt with pretty well by Ray. He's not even down too many cards.
No, but that's the power of Snapcaster Mage, right? It allows you. It is a 2-for-1. Right? The card, it's just built in. I will give a card flashback, and you'll be able to use that card. Then we use that snap to trade off with a creature on Joshua's side. So it really allowed us to kind of gain a lot of tempo advantage back, just trading off our few resources for many of theirs we could.
And now Merfolk here suffering from a little thing that I've experienced in the past before. Once you played all their things and had it all removed, kind of just in top deck mode. Not too much draw out of a blue deck, which is
This is
surprising.
odd to say, yes.
Yeah. A mono blue aggro deck in itself is pretty antithetical to how most Magic decks are built and played. That's why I like it so much, though, because you get that beatdown. You can also have some fun counter Magic as well, and so, there's a few different ways you can build Merfolk.
And
you see these new pieces that Josh has brought in with like the Pilgrimage, for example.
Right. And I would say this Pilgrimage might just be the card that Josh can use to slowly grind through this game. So as long as Ray Ray is not presenting too much of a clock, but instead trying to one-for-one with these Terminates, these Snapcasters, these Bolts, as long as Ray Ray doesn't draw Childred or something of the like, Josh may have the ability and time to just slowly plunk in for 1 or 2 points, make another Merfolk, 1 or 2 points, make another one.
If we can get a Lord of Atlantis, though,
the clock changes quickly.
Clock changes quickly, not just for the buff, but also for the island walk. No need to spreading seize any of Ray's lands here. Plenty of islands already on there. So even if they have a Childred, we could get around it. I'm trying not to root too heavily for the Merfolk deck here.
Oh, we all get it, right? When you see, even we see some folks in chat like sounding off like, oh, this deck is cool, either talking about Merfolk or about the Grixis Wizards deck. It's interesting every time just to see new things happening, so it's okay if it is also still Merfolk.
Speaking of Island Walk here, here's an enabler for in Tide Shaper. When it comes down, it'll turn one of Ray's lands into an island, so it helps enable that Island Walk there.
I'm hitting this Blood Crypt right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, pick the one that doesn't make blue mana at all. So getting rid of the most colors here.
You can see Ray even moving the Blood Crypt down as far as they can, showing this is the only non-blue producing. So it is kind of your most incentivized to remove 2 colors available to Ray Ray.
Indeed.
And an important note that I want to say, I was just looking, the Deeproot Pilgrimage only triggers off non-token Merfolk.
Correct.
So it won't fuel itself, which was my big question is, does this act as an army in a can itself? But it will instead work with the Mutavault and so forth.
When I first saw it proposed to be in a deck with the Subterranean Schooner, I was like, oh, infinite combo, because you can just crew, and it's separate instances, because it does also say 1 or more. So you have to tap them all, they have to be individual instances of tapping. So I thought you could crew and then crew and crew and crew and make infinite, but it is, like you said, non-token.
Oh, I totally see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that makes sense that they were probably like immediately prepared for us to not do that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. When they're 2 cards from the same set and you can immediately see how they would be broken together, it makes sense that wording was in there.
Because they would have had a infinite combo in limited of Pilgrimage plus a single vehicle. So, all right, they figured that one out on us.
Yeah, Shooter's got crew 1. So it's pretty great. Big fan of that number for sure. Here comes Flame of Anor, though. I'd say one of
Draw 2 mode. You go on.
one of the highlights of the Wizard deck. Probably one of the stronger cards in it. Very fun out of Lord of the Rings there. A couple different modes. You can pick multiple if you have Wizards on the field.
Right.
Ray does not. So he's just going to pick the draw 2 like Dom said.
And we're looking at, if you think about the modes of Flame of Anor and Abstract, it's instant speed Divination, instant speed Shatter, instant speed Destroy Target Childred. Or if you have a Wizard, you get to get any 2 of the 3 that you want. Yeah. The Destroy Target Childred is 5 damage to a creature. But a card that functions well on its own when you only get a single mode. But once you have a Wizard or something set up, 2 modes is all that you need. We were talking, Ray was going to get picked slowly and slowly and slowly. Josh draws 1 card a turn, but still has this army in a can.
Yeah, so Josh will take down game 1 there. We'll go to sideboards, and let's take a look at Ray's deck here. He has submitted it, so we have his full 75 available to look at. Let's take a look at his sideboard first. We have Flusterstorm, Spell Pierce, Stern Scolding, Thoughtseize, Brotherhood End, Engineered Explosives, Alpine Moon, and Pithing Needle. We also are rocking 61 cards, of course.
Shout out. So I'm interested in 2 cards here, and for similar reasons. I'm interested in, at minimum, the Brotherhood's End and the Engineered Explosives.
Because Brotherhood's End has a Shatter on it, right?
So Brotherhood's End is either deal 3 to all creatures and walkers, or take out all artifacts that cost 3 or less. So this can be able to act as our card to kind of like pick back up in a scenario where we're like, oh, we need to deal with this slew of merfolk. But it's the same reason I want this Explosives, is if you think about when we played that game of the merfolk deck, there were so many 2s. Like, there was just 2-drop on 2-drop on 2-drop on 2-drop, the Pilgrimage, And then even in a bind, if you get caught behind something like the Deep Root Pilgrimage, an EE on 0 could just clean up all of those tokens if need be.
Absolutely. I think those are all strong includes here. There's a bunch of cards that are honestly pretty effective here. Even Pithy Needle for Mutavault and Aether Vial would be useful here. So it's just a question of how many sideboard pieces you want to bring in, how much you want to dilute your main board plan. Let's take a look at a Merfolk list as well. Josh did not submit his, so we have one off of MTG Goldfish here as an example list of what he might be working with. This one has main board dismembers, which I love.
Got to get a removal spell in here. And then the really main difference you'll see in like a Merfolk deck is kind of in this like far one drop we're seeing here, in like Rashad and Dockhand. Like sometimes this is a card that you'll see, or sometimes you'll see a Merfolk player leaning harder on getting like 2s or some more number of interactive spells, like these forces, the Pilgrimages, Dismembers.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at this sideboard as well. Harbinger of the Tides, Subtlety, another Dismember, Force of Negation, 4 Chalice of the Voids in this example, 3 Cursed Totems, which we see a ton in the face of all these Yogg decks.
Very smart.
And like I was saying before, those Spreading Seas. That Spreading Seas used to be a main board include, now often the sideboard.
And there's so many islands out there anyways.
Indeed, indeed. It's really not as necessary anymore. When Urza Saga first came out, that was a really hot thing
that. I love that
to
move.
hit. But with so many triomes in the format, and though 4-color has gone a little by the wayside, there's still a lot of islands on your opponent's side of the field, so a little less relevant there.
And one of the cards out of that sideboard is what I miss talking through what could be in Josh's 75 is that card Subtlety as well, right? Just Merfolk already being just a pure blue deck anyways. The access to the pitch spells of Subtlety or Force of Negation, always good just to interact once you've got those excess Merfolk.
Absolutely. Ray will be on the play in game 2 here since he lost game 1. Just going to start off with some basic fetch go. But Josh actually has a turn on play here in that Rishadan Dockhand we talked about earlier. It has Island Walk naturally, which none of the other Merfolk do. They all have to be enabled by like a Lord of Atlantis.
And if Josh wants, we can really put a stranglehold on the tempo of this game using this Dockhand to put Ray down a mana every turn, quite literally turning this into a Rishadan port.
I was about to say, yeah, it's the naming.
That's what it's going after, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the joys of MH2, right? Everything was a reference to something.
Indeed, he's gonna
quick bolt on that.
Bolt that though before it can become untapped. So no way to buff that or counter anything there.
And good timing on Ray's side. You already want to play your instance on your opponent's end, except that's like Magic Player Instinct. But that also played around Joshua having Force of Negation and playing around Spell Pierce and the Merfolk Flash that has Force Spike.
Like, Hex Catcher.
Right, so doing what Josh had 1 mana and on their own end step was like the perfect window to play around the most things, even though that's natural Magic player tendency.
Now Josh has played Pilgrimage here. Ray's going to flash in an Orcish Bowmaster at his end step. Something that I'd like to see him do is potentially play a Merfolk first and then play the Pilgrimage the turn after, so you can start getting that value even sooner. There's also things to play around though, like an Orcish Bowmaster or Counter Magic or stuff like that as well.
Yes. And this Bowmaster, the part of the issue for Joshua might just be it's literally 2 bodies on the other side. So if you're not getting Island Walk online, Ray is going to be able to create blockers. We could block with this Orc army and then make another army later down the line.
Oh boy, and here comes an Engineered Explosives. We suspected this was coming in. It's going to come in on 2.
On 2. Ray saw the same thing I did, that Josh's deck had so many 2-drops present.
I think the 2-drops are probably the strongest cards in the deck as well, besides just the number of them too.
Because now, if Joshua's going to sit behind this Pilgrimage, eventually they'll lose the Pilgrimage proper and have a few tokens left over. But the Lords and the Hex Catcher, these are all 2s. And there's a pile of them in Josh's hand, and they're staring down this EE for 2, trying to figure out how much can I put into play and how much I need to hold.
And it's exactly equal to, I always forget if it's or less than, but EE just hits the exact number. So Ray's token won't be in danger here, or like Joshua's Mutavault as well won't get affected.
But Ray will lose their own Bowmaster, which means
Bowmaster.
They're heavily incentivized to trade it off as soon as they can to get the most value out of their EE and their Bowmaster.
Indeed, Josh thinking a little bit here on the different things he can do. I see a Dockhand sitting at the far right of his hand, and he will cast it.
And the interesting thing about the Dockhand is you can see that Ray's short on mana already. You could use this Dockhand to put Ray off one of their lands and not be able to activate the EE anyways.
So we're going to opt to animate the Mutavault, start crashing in for some damage here, and get this Pilgrimage value churning as well. We're going to gain a Merfolk token off of that attack.
And I love this because Josh's hand is full of 2-drops, but they have a 0 and a 1 and a 0 and Mutavault as their current aggressive tools, which lets them currently play around the onboard EE.
Ray found his third land there. I see a Sholdred sitting there, hoping to come down at some point.
Yeah, I think we're going to start by using this fetch at the opportune moment so that we can cast the Tishana's Tidebinder in our hand. A little wizard on wizard violence.
Oh,
and
no, Merfolk on Merfolk. Oh, gosh.
It goes both ways for this one.
Indeed. Lots of Merfolk on Josh's side of the board here.
And it looks like we drew another 1, which is, again, perfect for trying to play around this EE.
All these honorary wizards' house.
Right. That is the thing with...
Sure?
Ray does have 2 honorary wizards in the form of the unbeatable black cards of Orcish Bowmaster and
I was gonna say
Shieldred.
that they're just too good to pass up.
Yes.
I don't think Shieldred needs any more
No.
any more help. She doesn't need another type. I don't want to give her wizard powers.
It's like Subtlety is an honorary wizard, honorary rhino, honorary merfolk. Shieldred is also an honorary wizard.
Indeed. We just need grief to round out the honorary black cards in the format.
Speaking of, I just realized with Ray's Tishana's Tidebinder, we have now opened ourselves up to get Tidebindered from Joshua. Because we need to crack this fetch in order to get access to our Tidebinder. We did not crack this before allowing Josh to untap with 3 total mana. So if the Tidebinders are floating around in Joshua's deck as well, there's a non-zero chance we could have used Joshua's to answer Ray's mana and never let Ray get to it. Which is a new pattern we're not used to, right? Playing around literal stifle on your lands.
Absolutely. Josh will play out this Hexcatcher, though, in his main phase. Just want to make sure that's on the board, potentially to do some Force Spike effects there.
And give this buff to this team, right? So we can get
there.
The natural Ion Walk on the dockhand with this Steam Vents on Ray's side. And just turning this Merfolk into a 2/2 means if Ray is going to block it, either it's a chump block or lose both of the permanents they have in play.
Something I like about the Hexcatcher being cast in the main phase as well, we will gain 1 more Merfolk on our attack from the Pilgrimage, so we have a lot of use for this card to be down.
With them becoming spikes, right?
There's only so much value that the Force or the combat trick offers you with this flash card. Once you played a couple games against Merfolk, you're expecting it at most times, so you're not going to catch a lot of players off guard, especially one as seasoned as Ray.
But catch them off guard with, I will make a ton of Merfolk and use these as counter spells, you could really catch them with.
There you go. All right, thinking about what else we can do. I think we're going to move to combat here in a short second. We got to at least attack with the Island Walk. There we go, because that one is fully unblockable unless Ray's going to blow up his Steam Vents somehow.
Right. I was wondering early if there was a way that Ray could have played around not getting an island in play, but at the time, looked like their only other land was Takenuma, so they would have had 0 access to blue at all if they had made a play like that. And we see here, Ray knows we're not getting punished because Joshua has spent their mana, so we can use this, shore up, fetch with our land.
The thing about the Hexcatcher is it only counters instants or sorceries, so you can't use these Merfolk to counter the Tidebinder.
That's always the hardest part is effects like this seem good, they seem effective, but over time the creatures are getting better and better and better, and cards like Tishana's Tidebinder, this is a spell, but it's also a 3/2 that is going to attack and kill you.
So in response to the Pilgrimage triggering, the Tishanas will come down and shut that off, I assume. There's nothing to get...
Well, the issue is I believe there's no trigger to target, right? For the Tidebinder to even try to shut something down, we don't have...
The Pilgrimage trigger.
Oh, we hit the Pilgrimage trigger.
Yeah. So I was thinking that I was trying to think of some way this dockhand could trigger and you could stifle that and then remove the Island Walk and block it, but Island Walk itself is not like a triggered or activated ability, so you can't do that.
And now Ray has drawn this Lorien, so we'll be able to use this ability to go up to our 4th land.
Ooh, good point as well. You can animate the Mutavault, tap it to catch the Hexcatcher, make another 1/1.
Right, because now Josh is seemingly leaving this mana just on the table. This unused Mutavault, if we had animated and used it for mana, we would have got a Pilgrimage. Because Pilgrimage isn't once per turn. It's like a once per moment.
Per instance, yeah. Yes, Ray's been very kind to his opponent here. Josh let us know that he's newer to playing Magic. He's hoping to go to MagicCon and play in the events there, so he's getting in some practice at our locals here.
And Ray is the kindest.
And
so it's a win-win.
Ray showing the kindness and the welcoming party that is the Nerd Rage Gaming play space.
That is one of the things I always feel as an LGS employee when like a new player comes like, I don't know. It's like, and then you see who they play against. You're like, they're gonna have a great time.
Yes.
That's one of the great feelings. You're like, oh, this would be a perfect person to help like steward you back into it all.
Absolutely. So if you're looking to come down, play some Magic, and you're newer to it, don't be afraid. We have lots of people that are here to help you, make you have a good time, help you learn some stuff too if you're interested, or just here to jam games as well.
And there's barely any scam out there.
There's like no scam out there. There's like weird scam. We have Luke's scam and David's scam.
There's people playing like Burning Inquiries and Stoneforges. You should be more worried of the card Counterspell than the card Grief around here.
Indeed. I'm sure we'll get a peek at that in our backup match.
And Ray's got them floating around somewhere. May have boarded them out in this Cavern of Souls matchup, but just a gummed up board state here. But this Lord is going to allow Ray to just fully slice and dice through what was once gummed up. I see your islands. We're coming on in.
Absolutely, yeah. We're free to crash here. However, you do have to be worried if the Lord gets removed during the attacker's phase. You can then block stuff. So might want to be a little cautious there.
Because if Josh rumbles into combat, Ray could blow up this explosives, remove the Lord, remove the Pilgrimage, remove the Hex Catcher. The only things left around are the Dockin and this 1/1 little Merfolk token. The Tidebinder can eat up the Merfolk, and you take a single point of Island Walk damage from your massive combat.
Ray's taken a decent amount of damage, though. He is down to 10 with a 3-mana board state, or 3-color deck. You do take some damage from your mana base.
And then we have cards like the One Ring and Shieldred in hand, but
we have both of those. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's the 1-2 punch. We just need to get there.
That's quite the stabilizing force there for sure. We're gonna tap 1 mana. We're gonna tap 2 mana.
And we're gonna blow this EE. Remember, we're gonna lose our own Orcish Bowmaster, but we're also gonna clean up the pump from both of the Lords as well as the Pilgrimage.
Indeed. Clean up all that stuff there. Get the proper dice. Wonderful. Josh still has this Mutavault as well. He's still got cards in hand. The Shouldred plus the One Ring is such a devastating 1-2 punch, though. You can't cast both in the same turn.
Right.
And you do have this little Island Walk boy. This island boy. But not quite enough damage tacked onto that body to get us through the life gain that Ray's about to start rumbling with.
Part 1, this resolution of Shieldred. This is what Ray needs to start trying to stabilize. Josh, no subtlety in response there.
No subtlety there. You already played his Odawara as well, so we can't bounce that even.
Oh, yeah, that's a great point. I love me an Odawara. I'm putting him in every deck.
Yeah. Used to play Brazen Borrower and Merfolk too. That stuff slaps.
Odawara is just one of those cards you're like, I don't think I have any outs in this scenario. You draw your Odawara and you're like, never mind, just kidding. Like, it's unbelievable what just a free bounce on your land can help figure out for you.
That card caught me off guard, like surprised me for way too long. Way too long. I would just be like, what do you have?
You're like, you're passing a 4? Oh.
Yeah. But you're not gonna counter my thing? Okay, swing. Wait, what?
Joshua here putting down our first Lord, and if we want, but we use both of our blue sources, so we don't have access to playing the second one, but we do have access to booting up a Mutavault, getting in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points of damage. You're putting Ray very low, but Ray's going to slam Ring, and Ring Shieldred may be all the stabilizing power.
Yeah, we're going to gain 2 from the initial draw, then we're going to have a full turn of a Fog effect protection from everything.
And then the 2 life gain from the Ring draw.
And then from the natural draw. So that's at least 6 life that Ray is going to gain before Josh can even damage him again. There's the first one. We'll have that Ring showing off all the cards there.
And I know this isn't Ray's, foray. I think we should get in with this Shieldred.
Yeah.
I think we need to be applying a pressure. Like, our life total is not that safe.
Yeah, there you go.
Both. Yes, Ray. Yes. Right. This was something I saw. I've noticed watching NRG Player of the Year champ Steven Dykman playing these
the champiest champ to have ever
champed. Right. Watching him play these like blue tempo-y style decks. and when watching him play like Rakdos, all of the stuff that he played during the weekend, was seeing moments like this where it's like, I have to get in for damage with this because I need this game to end. I can't hold this tempo for long.
Absolutely. That's a note of a really good Magic player when they know exactly when to start turning the tides there.
Like watching a good player play a deck you want to learn, you're like, oh, wow, great. Oh, cool. Oh, yes. And you like learn every play of every game. And that's not how it is all the time.
I had this moment at one of my first NRG events when we were jamming games after the event. And one of my friends picked up my Legacy D&T deck, which he had never played before, but he was such a good Magic player, and just watching him pilot a deck that was brand new to him was so impressive. And just like seeing the skill of like just a really good veteran Magic player being able to pick up a deck and just be good with it.
They're like, I don't know, I've heard whispers what this is supposed to do. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things to do. I
just like shuffle through an 80 card deck because it's a Yori and D&T.
Got
even. Easy peasy.
Joshua, I think I understand the moment that's happening here. It's the slight feeling of hopelessness setting in.
There's some dread coming, yeah.
Of like, I'm in this game, my opponent's at 7, I can like feel the wind in my clutches, but they are pushing down. Like they're trying to end this for me ASAP. Ray got in for that combat, did big swings getting in here.
Yeah, if this ring hadn't come down, I think Ray was just dead.
Oh yeah.
Because the island walk you can't help against.
Ray kept a loosey-goosey, like 2-land ring Shieldred, spent a lot of the early turns like floundering and trying to stay afloat. Got to exactly what this hand's plan was, and is now locked in on being able to do it. And Josh is trying to figure out, like, I have moments to figure out how to piece this together, and my hand is just 3. I said floundering. I said staying afloat. I'm so sorry, Alice. I'm trying.
The merfolk, let it overcome your every thought.
The island's truly seeping in. I think Joshua is flipping through these 3 cards in their hand, realizing that all 3 of them have no text right now in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
But do they amount to damage? There's a ring in play. Do they amount to... No, they don't.
No, they really don't. This Shouldred, in addition to stabilizing Ray, is also continuing to tick down Joshua. That there was a huge 7 life point swing with his attack. Now he's 3 turns away from lethal, even if Ray doesn't smack him any more.
Yeah, and this attacking Shieldred's not going anywhere. You're not answering it. I see the 3 cards in your hand. Those are not answers for Shieldred.
Okay, we'll play out the Hex Catcher here.
And we can't forget, along the way, Ray's deck is a deck full of removal spells. And when we draw 2 off this ring in our natural draw step and we recall, they're all going to be removal spells that we're finding. There are going to be more Bowmasters, more Wizards, more kill spells.
Indeed, we'll take a point of damage for the burden counter on the ring there.
Oh,
looks like Josh will respond.
I was wrong. We're going to Tidebinder this Shieldred to shut down, at least try to shut down life gain triggers.
I think that's a Trickster.
Right. So we're going to use, Trickster to try to remove the abilities from this Shieldred.
Oh, there you go. Can't gain life at least.
So Ray is going to be forced to do it now before they take the damage from their ring. Which means when they do take ring damage, it'll at least be for 2 because they're forced to do this now.
I think the burden counter already resolved in response to going to draw.
I see.
So I don't think Ray will have to take an additional point of damage, unfortunately, there.
That's just a brief
moment. Heads up move from Josh there. Want to keep Ray's life total as little as possible.
Oh, but Ray drew the Brotherhood's end, and all these creatures are going away.
No.
Because that was a turning point. I do think with what's currently in play, Joshua could have had enough damage to sneak through for this 10, but not if our opponent draws a literal board wipe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, but we have a Hex Catcher. Okay.
Oh.
And if we use...
We do have plenty of fodder for that.
We can use our Dockhand and tap down Ray's land in response to the spell. And that's one available to Ray that they're going to have to float. And if we can sack 2 folk here. We could sack the Mutavault and the Dockhand.
You only need to sack 1 then if you use the Dockhand to tap it down.
Well, Ray will have the floating man and then could use the float to try to pay for the...
Oh, for sure.
But I think we only have to lose 2 folk here. We can use Mutavault to activate Mutavault. We could lose Vault and the Merfolk token and keep this squad in play, and that should be lethal attacking.
He does have a land he could still play for turn. So that changes the math a little bit.
Ray getting into combat.
Combat first, swing with the whole team here.
Ray can't block, right? If you know that they're going to have access to this Island Walk and may have access to future Island Walk granting creatures.
Presenting lethal currently, so there do need to be some blocks here.
And we know that we know that Ray is trying to cast his Brotherhood's End, which means we're attacking with the 2 creatures we have that would die to the Brotherhood's End anyways. This is when you see a control player attack with their creatures. You're like, oh, Verdict's coming. You're like, why would you attack with this here? Oh, I see.
All right, we'll see what Josh opts to block with here. Probably should be this little Merfolk token, the least valuable thing. Got no text box on it except for hexproof, which isn't relevant against a non-targeted board wipe.
I want to maybe put this Merfolk token in front of the Tidebinder just to kind of keep 3 of my points of life. I'll lose 2 to shield it down to 1, and then I'm going to try to kill you. This game is going to come down to what Ray wants to do with their turn. If Ray is looking to use that Brotherhood's End, I think they lose the game. And if they try to use the 2 removal spells in their hand, they might have a shot here.
All right, Josh, debating on these blocks here. Not quite sure what the waffling's about. I feel like you gotta just block this. Merfolk's gonna die to anything, so just block the biggest thing. Seems like a good choice here.
Oh, we have to be so careful because we trade off too many of our attackers, we won't have lethal back. And now Ray may be changing our plan looking at this Bowmaster. Because that'll make our Orc Army into a 2/2. Still not quite
If he leaves the Sholdred unblocked, he's dead on his turn.
Shoulder was tapped to the Trickster. We don't have to worry about that one.
Oh, excuse me. It's not attacking. Excuse me.
So we can use this Bowmaster. Shoot. Oh, I was going to shoot the other Lord, but same deal, right? Shoot a Lord. Bowmaster shoot a Lord. This Orc Army becomes a 3/3, and it'll allow it to trade off in combat with the Trickster.
Oh, no. Okay.
And remember, the blockers Ray has isn't too important, but the fact that we're about to lose this Island Walk is incredibly important.
Indeed. Oh, there's our other Merfolk player, Alex, walking by there. Gotta go represent.
Oh, but now we know Ray is not going to play the board wipe. And Joshua here is
Doesn't
losing.
Even need to.
Well, I think because they might lose this game now.
Yeah.
If Joshua has a Island Walker in their hand or draws one, we just slam it down and should be able to just rumble through for full combat. We have to get to 10 damage. We have our Mutavault, and we'll have 2 folk.
One fish, 2 fish. 1 folk, 2 folk. Blue folk.
We're keeping all 4 of these? Okay, great. Oh, that Merfolk got to live because it had 2 damage on it, but live from the pump from the other Lord.
Okay.
This is so incredibly important. Because they're tapped out. Wait, Josh, can't you just kill? Can't you just boot up both your Mutavaults?
Shaper, that doesn't do much.
Wait, Ray, you're dead.
What just happened?
Josh just double boots these Mutavaults and gets in for like 14 points of damage all Island Walk, right?
Oh, no.
Right? Because this is a Merfolk of the Pearl Trident and gives everyone Island Walk, right?
Correct.
And if we double do these Mutavaults...
Hexcatcher also buffs.
Right, not Island Walk, but we're getting big damage.
Yeah, these Mutavaults are 3 damage each.
4. Double pump off the base 2/2.
4.
Ray's almost dead just for the Mutavaults.
Oh, dang.
They're super dead.
Play the Tide Shaper anyway.
Yeah, get your cards out there.
Turn stuff sideways.
All right, do I do this? Are you dead? That's a scoop. That's for Merfolk.
Oh, man. With the Brotherhood End in hand, opted for a different play.
We still would have lost because Josh would have been able to use their Hex Catchers and eat up the mana and still counter it.
Oh, really? Okay, sorry.
So the outs for Ray will most likely use our literal removal, not our Bowmasters, because the Bowmasters didn't truly kill off the Lord.
Yeah, Ray's explaining to Josh what we're going over right now, too. Like, I had the answer, but it wouldn't have been enough anyway.
Yeah. And I think Ray thought that they were able to kill off the Merfolk of the Pearl Trident, forgetting that Merfolk's getting a buff from way over here, had the 2 damage marked down, and went, oh, when the card still survived.
All right, Josh will be our first victor of the night, taking it down against Ray in 2. We'll head into our backup match here. They're done?
They're gone.
They're done. George finished before the main feature.
Never a good sign, but shout out to the Merfolk and to the Wizards.
All right, represent. Maybe we'll see them later. Before we head into a break, though, we're going to look at our weekly schedule. If you're looking to play some games at our store, if you enjoy Magic, we have several ways to do that. We have Legacy and Standard on Fridays, Modern on Wednesdays, Commander on Mondays and Thursdays. Pioneer has been replaced with Lorcana. If you want to play One Piece, we got that. Digimon, Pokémon, all that good stuff there. We have a case tournament for Digimon this Saturday. We have a Lorcana 1K next Saturday. We have Paldean Fates release. We have EX05 release. all sorts of good stuff happening if you want a game in any one of the 5 games that we represent at this store. We'd love to see you here. Don't forget, we have Modern here every Wednesday at 6:30. Make sure to hit that follow button. If you can't join us live and in person, you can join us over Twitch chat. With that being said, though, that'll wrap up our round 1 coverage. Tune in just a little bit. We'll be back with round 2. Thanks for watching.
See y'all soon.
Bye. Welcome back, folks. We're in round 2 of week 2 of our Modern League.
George would like me to let
Very
you all
exciting.
know that George won on camera, but it was on backup off camera. So George's curse continues.
Indeed. That is George on the right-hand side of your screen, playing against Devin, playing Yawgmoth. I don't know who's on the play here. It looks like George is taking a mulligan, though. He's got Kikira in his companion zone, and he's rocking his favorite deck, Blue-White Narset. Not the jab pile.
No. This is classic blue-white, inspired by one of George's teammate, Garrick Alford, doing incredible on Moto right now, playing this deck.
Yeah, I've seen he's been streaming a lot recently.
Yeah, streaming it, like 4-0ing prelims, like all that kind of stuff, just like having a real good time with this deck. I think George, for the first time, showed up with the deck ready and sleeved before, and didn't just like build it messily on the table 5 minutes before the match. So we have a real deck this time. We're ready to go.
Yeah, and it shows he won his first match as well. He's here in the 1-0 bracket, ready to take it down, representing Team Flex Slots.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about this matchup as we play against Yawgmoth, because my brain can't comprehend if this is an absolute buy for George or an absolute buy for Devin. And I don't know which it is right now.
I feel like we're going to know pretty quickly.
Yeah, but George has a pile of Leyline Binding, Prismatic Endings, and Solitudes. Just remove every card that matters.
These players playing at lightning fast speed, by the way. Can't even fetch before Devin's fully done with his second turn there.
The hardest part of
Prismatic Ending, the Young Wolf on turn 1 there. Devin will play out a Wall of Roots, use mana to play another Young Wolf.
Chat, important conversation. George Jabor here playing the Unfinity Full Art Hollowed Fountain versus the Ravnica Remastered Full Art, recently released MTGO exclusive Full Arts. What are your thoughts? Which are you after? Which are you going to play? George is sticking with the SpaceX.
Zeke was on TCG Player today. He was like, which of the Ravnica Remastered do I do? The Full Arts or the Retro Border? I can't decide which is better. I think it's a good problem to have.
Right. As Devin here with just a Flash Endurance, just to put a threat in play. This card just has the word Flash, which is still incredible against an opponent looking to gain the tempo. Right? A control opponent being like, I'm here to counterspell and react. Just a card having Flash can really throw them off their toes.
Ooh, and a Soul Cauldron will hit the field as well. So maybe start to enable some shenanigans there. Nothing to feed to it yet.
Eat. And
nothing to put in the soup that's relevant. A Leyline Binding will come down and hit something.
And this is one of the things that I cannot stress enough. I stress to George, my teammate, I stress people in general. Leyline Binding doesn't have to cost 1 to be a still good, amazing Magic card, right?
Absolutely.
This Binding is still a 2-mana O-Ring with Flash here. That is still plenty good. When the card costs 1, phenomenal. When it costs 2, still good. When it costs 3, still good. It's all right, folks. So you can see George not fully like destroying the mana base to have access to be able to do that. Understand you could still do it on 2 and do what you need to do.
George down to 10 here between taking damage from his lands and the swinging combat damage on Devin's side of the field. That Leyline Binding ate the Soul Cauldron, by the way, and Devin used it at instant speed to grab the Prismatic Ending out of George's graveyard.
And I was going to say,
Counterspell.
Because Devin's playing as a Flash deck here. Just Flash for Endurance, Flash for the Bowmaster, allowing them to really like try to fight back against this controlling blue-white strat.
Devin plays a lot of Legacy, so he's used to casting things at instant speed.
And one of the things about George's currently presented mana base is it cannot cast Supreme Verdict, but it can cast these bindings, can cast these counterspells.
Absolutely. A second binding will scoop up a Grist there. Lots of stuff on George's side of the board. Devin's got a couple creatures still. Here comes a Teferi, though.
Teferi most likely bounces Endurance. It's just the most amount of damage and draw ourselves a card.
We still are only sitting on 2 lands on Devin's side of the field as well. This Wall of Roots has been doing work to keep us in the game here.
And this Wall of Roots is running out. We only have 2 more activations of this available.
Indeed. We will swing and take that last loyalty point off of Teferi. Crash in for 1 more point of damage. Bring George down to 5. Very few life left here. I think a ring would be a heater of a play right now.
Very importantly here, George left up Zagoth Triumph and not a white source. You saw Devin debate where to send combat, realizing that George could not react with a white removal spell, only sent one creature at the Teferi, not both, not fearing removal, and instead making sure to get in every point of damage they can.
Exactly, like you said earlier, the Leyline Binding still costs 2 here, and the Prismatic Ending is a sorcery speed spell. Had to minus the Teferi to get rid of something, so no uptick instant speed stuff happening here. Lots of speedy plays, though. Very hard to catch up with this. I'm glad y'all are enjoying it, though. Make sure to hit that follow button. Here comes the namesake card, George's favorite card. Narset Parter avails herself. I'm sure we'll see that get minused here in a second. We'll grab some cards off the top of George's deck.
One of my favorite things, if you ever go behind the scenes in the there's the
Ooh, he's flashing it. He's should I?
If you ever go behind the scenes,
oh, you won't. Oh, we'll go for the preordain instead.
I guess we'll take the draw spell so I can find interaction.
Oh, I guess.
And do a quick Bowmaster in response to that preordain. Shows the double verdict that was uncastable because we only had a single white source for George, and we're picking it up.
Dang. All right. Devin will take game 1 there in the face of George's blue-white deck. Let's take a look at that blue-white deck. Speaking of, we got George's full 75 on display here. We got Kahira sitting in that top spot as the companion. Stern Scolding, Celestial Purge, Dovin's Veto, Ray of Revelation. Don't know what that card does. Like we'll talk about it in a second here. Dave's Undoing, Force Negation, Chalice of the Void, and Dress Down. What's that Ray of Revelation?
So the Ray of Revolution is the Raja Suleiman invitational card. You almost always find it in the sideboard of their blue-white decks. It's 1 and a white disenchant, flashback for green disenchant.
Oh, interesting.
I believe it's only enchantment. It literally only hits enchantments. This is a way for them to kind of beat opposing Leyline Bindings because you get to kill 2 of them while also having kind of subtle answers for cards like Blood Moon or other stuff that could be difficult for you. But this Blue-White Narset deck, the card's sitting at the tippity-toppity, Stern Scolding, just has the Yawgmoth deck's name written on it.
Absolutely. No need to play Cursed Totems here. We'll play good old counter magic. Scoop up creatures, grists, all sorts of good stuff there. It even hits Yogg, right?
Yes, it hits literally all of the non-Shieldred and Endurance, which are usually one-ofs at most of the time in this deck. Aside from that, there are 2 Dress Downs all the way at the bottom. An incredible card. A deck looking to have activate abilities and undying effects and all that. Shut them down. Just shut them all down, draw a card, and move on.
Easy peasy game plan for George there. We'll take a quick look at a Yawgmoth deck list as well. Devin did not submit, so we've grabbed one off of MTG Goldfish here. You've seen Yawgmoth a bunch of times on this stream. The classic deck, top of the metagame currently. Classic sideboard here as well. We'll review it just in case you're newer to the deck. Haywire Might, Soulless Jailer, Endurance, Magus of the Moon. Magus of the Moon? Magus of the Moon.
You can find off your Cords, your Eldritch Evolutions, your Ignoble Hierarchs make red.
All right, okay, you sold me. Reclamation Sage, Shoulder the Apocalypse, Thoughtseize, Legion's End, Tear Asunder, Force of Vigor, and Chalice of the Void.
So, Thoughtseize, Shieldred because it's generically good.
Do you grab this Magus? I don't think Devin's playing a Magus in his side. Is this a common sideboard card?
Yeah, one of the best decks in the format right now is Amulet. This allows you to have all of your Court of Calling, say, put Targus Magus the Moon in play, which is a very real line of text for that card to have. I would imagine we're most likely looking at maybe Haywire Might, maybe Rex Sage, depending on how you feel about your stuff getting locked down by bindings and other similar effects.
That's what I was looking for, anti-binding tech.
And Cursed Totem, if you don't know the exact 75, you have to assume it's here. I imagine Yogg brings in Rex Sage in literally every matchup, just to be aware of the high presence that is Cursed Totems. So I look at maybe Haywire Might, for sure this Rex Sage just on principle. The Shieldred and the double Thoughtseize I absolutely want. And then Tear Asunder might come in just as an answer to have that Naturalize available, that if you scale up to just do the 4-cost mode, it can answer whatever is giving you trouble.
All right, let's head back down to the action here. George will pee on the play, and there's someone in chat that's here for George. Welcome to chat. George is here most every week, so you should join us, follow the channel, and see some good magic while you're here.
I do not mean this as a dig to my good friend George Jabor. Sometimes he doesn't do a lot of winning, and sometimes that keeps you off coverage. As he also shows Devin this Plains double counterspell hand.
Oh boy, George, what did you keep here, man?
We kept
You only have one blue source.
We're gonna be able to at least have Leyline Binding if we find Zagoth Triumph from this. And
okay.
literally every card besides Binding we can't hard cast. Solitude we can at least pitch cast using this Verdict.
Yeah, I think you got to take the Binding here. The other cards are just unplayable.
The Binding's the only real card in this entire hand.
I feel like George suffers from bad draws sometimes, but sometimes he also puts himself into a position to just
bad draws, but also sometimes bad keeps and bad hands.
Yeah, this one seems a little loose to me here. We'll see what happens. Drop the top.
I'm sure it's an island.
Third counter spell.
Oh, perfect.
Oh boy. All right, they are beautiful though. Classic art there and signed. We'll play that Plains out for turn. Devin will play a turn
Delighted
2
Halfling.
Turn 2 Young Wolf here, fetching quickly.
So Delighted Halfling, I think a card that's pretty contentious right now because
really?
counter spells aren't that good in the form, right? They're really only present in, I would say, 1.5 decks. It's in Murktide, and it's in whatever control variant your friend shouldn't be playing right now. Right? It's in kind of those two spots are where you see counterspell. So Delighted Halfling is sometimes just to help you in those matchups resolve cards like this Grist, but you're not truly that often using the uncounterability clause of these halflings.
Oh, George rips a land off the top. Will help him get back into this game here. Devin played a Grist, got milled over an Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Not too notable there, but you can't throw it into its own cauldron, so...
I bet this Misty Rainforest finds Hallowed Fountain because that unlocks Supreme Verdict, Solitude, and Counterspell. We can unlock all of those in our mana by just getting good old-fashioned Hallowed Fountain here.
The green in this deck is literally for Kahira and Ray of Revelation and Leyline Binding.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's why the raise here is it's kind of free. You're just like, oh, I just already fetch up this land most turn ones anyways. This counterspell being able to eat up the Agatha Soul Cauldron, absolutely wonderful.
Ticking up again. Did we hit a second Soul Cauldron there?
That's not great. That's the case.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that Grist Ultimate either. He wants to get some creatures into the graveyard. I love me a good Grist Ultimate.
I love a Grist Alt. Yep.
I love it.
Grist Alt fans here.
Land
drop and a land drop.
Another one. Sheesh. All right, we've got some actionable cards in our hand now.
And what George might could possibly work towards this game is if we draw it, we could dress down on Devin's end step, untap on our turn Supreme Verdict, and the creatures won't have Undying. So could be something to work towards.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because you lose dress down at the beginning of end step.
Right. So if you do it in an end step, you'll have the next one to keep it. Kind of using your mana both ways.
There you go. We'll see what George does here. The Grist won't die, so we can regain some board advantage there, potentially. We'll fetch out a Rogren Triumph.
Yep, doing the same thing. We kind of preserved our life total by finding Island last turn and then Rogren this turn. We still have now unlocked Solitude Verdict, but done it the least painful way possible.
Indeed, life totals are 15 to 11 here. Oh, now just ripping too many lands off the top, I think.
That's hard to cast Solitude.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, this is
just
good.
The right amount of lands.
Exactly,
me.
Yeah, I would say just the right amount. And then the super right amount is 6, which is Narset Fine Days, Cast Days.
Oh, there you go. And then 7 is Mary's Call.
That's Hammer Mat. That's a little different. We see Devin here also finding their land drop, keeping up. Has, I believe, Cord and Bowmaster and a few other toys in hand to work with. We haven't seen Yawgmoth proper just yet. Devin did full beatdowns game 1.
Looks like Devin might be doing a quick judge call
for
the back of match.
A little quick consultation for the back as we rumble on into combat.
Quick deliberation there.
4
Full
damage,
crash.
But George is at 9, so.
Shows his graveyard. I don't even know if George asked for it. Just kinda
for the Grist math.
Here it is. This is what I got.
And we see Devin, Cord, Yawgmoth, I believe Grist, Bowmaster. I think that's the hand, which sounds pretty good. And our control opponent is down to 5 points of life and did not flash in Solitude during combat. It's probably got Yawgmoth's name written on it. So now we're pressuring on what Devin's doing with their turn.
Dead to the Verdict if he can cast Blood Artist.
Yeah, if Devin finds a way to put the Artist into play, which we can do with this Court of Calling if we have another... Oh, if we had kept back a single creature, we could have really put George in that bind. We got in with everybody. Oh no, we have this insect. So this is exactly Chord for Blood Arts in response to Supreme Verdict, which will force George to have white card as one of the 2 mystery cards they have. And now we're casting in Solitude, so now Blood Arts is a full out. If this Supreme Verdict gets cast, we can kill our opponent. But if George draws a land, we can keep up Verdict's counterspell and fight back against it.
All right, Solitude is resolved here. George has chosen his target. Pointed just vaguely in the direction of
probably the young wolf.
Here. The young wolf seems the strongest play.
100% the Undying creature.
Yeah, absolutely. Exile effects are good against that keyword.
George, don't kill yourself. Don't kill yourself. Don't do it.
Was that a pending off the top?
Get in with this Solitude because we just need to get some
Get
points
some
of life
life
and pressure this Grist.
Oh, okay.
Because that thing was about to do a little bit of that ultimate.
Milled over a Shuldred, by the way.
That's not a bad place for her. She at least counts as a creature.
It's not a bad place, but she's usually a 1-of, right?
Right.
So that's no longer a fetchable off a Chord.
I think George might be realizing that if they could take themselves out of this game. Because if we fetch up this Blood Artist, that will deal 6 points of damage in that combat. We're going pending on Grist. Very disciplined play.
Oh,
Devin,
very quick.
Let that
tap
go.
his mana. Gonna let the full pending resolve, and then
this probably
Chord.
gets Bowmaster, but it won't matter because George made this play to be able to keep up counterspell. And now Devin's threatening to come in for 4 points of damage, which is not quite life total lethal, so we're fine with it.
Drew Grist off the top is gonna play a Wall of Roots as his first spell for turn.
Wall into Grist.
Wall into Grist here.
Not even interesting. And then we're going to eat the Solitude using Grist's ability.
There you go. Crashing for 3. Bring George down to 4. Not 5?
Because we dealt 4. We attacked all 4 of our creatures, then sacked one.
Oh, sacked it after combat. Excuse me. They're playing so darn fast here. This is crazy.
A control player isn't going to finish a round? I can't believe it.
All right, back to George's turn here. He's got this Supreme Verdict, and it will be cast.
Because there's no wolf or anything to make us be worried about the Undying. It was just a full board of normal creatures.
Yep. Preordain here.
Preordained, the card that basically both of the blue-white S decks and champs wish they had more of in their deck.
Absolutely. You see this new blue-white card that just got spoiled?
I don't talk about mana leaks.
You don't want to talk about the mana leak?
Mana Leak with Exile on it makes me even less likely to play Pioneer.
I have never seen so many copies of the same card in my timeline at once. That spoiler went crazy.
You're not in a Discord with George, right? Yeah, me too. And here, finally, with a moment to play this, the Yawgmoth Devin's had in hand. It feels like this whole game.
Not an art you see too often. That's the Borderless Dominator remastered one.
I'm kind of feeling it. I have an all retro Yawg deck. I might be undoing all of it.
You're gonna full border or no border?
Yeah, get rid of all the borders.
I want a full border deck.
Yeah, all my cards should have borders. Solitude number 2 just has Yawgmoth's name on it here. Unbelievable. And now that we're gonna trade off Devin's full board using both these insects to kill off the Solitude. Draw 2, but this works as a board wipe. I guess you'll take remove target Yawgmoth, opponent draws 2 cards, I guess.
I guess. You still got 5 cards in hand for Devin. Uptick this Grist will mill over something off camera. It is not an insect though, so we'll just get one insect there.
Not the Haywire Mite, not a Grist.
There we go.
I still have yet to play the Grist combo deck that use recross the path, set up your deck with tons of insects. You activate Grist to make 12 insects in play.
Oh boy.
Oh, it sounds so fun.
That's sick.
But whenever a fun deck shows up on Moto for a week and you don't own 10 of the cards, you just know you're never gonna play it.
So you gotta use those rental services, right?
Well, I mean in person, here at an NRG or whatever. Or when the Flump combo deck came out.
I remember
bought all those cards from here.
Yes, the Flump combo.
And never once played a game and it's long gone.
No. Flash in the pan, that one.
Yeah, maybe you know what? I'll put a 1 of Flump and Yawgmoth and figure it out.
Oh yeah, let's make it happen. Let's put another color into that deck. That'll make it stronger.
I did play Jund Yawgmoth for a while with Ragavans.
Really interesting. There's also this new card out of Karlov, the Mystic Forge that plays 2. You can look at the top, and once per
Oh, you
turn,
can play
you
power
play
2s.
power 2 or less
Yeah.
off the top of your deck.
D&T card if I've ever seen one.
Absolutely. That's definitely the deck it's going in. But why not throw it in Yogg? See how it do there.
Whoa, that's kind of cool. Narset coming online. I get what you're saying. You could play in the same vein as how they played Elven Core, as long as you like play cards on the top. But the whole deck already conforms to the 2 power or less clause.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like Elven Chorus is 3 mana though, right?
4.
Versus it's 4 mana. Oh yeah. So maybe it because the new card is 2 mana.
Yeah. I know Elven Chorus can go wild with your Stringaroo Geist, but that doesn't matter too much to Yogg players nowadays.
All right, Devin got 2 damage on board here. George is at 4 life. 2 cards in hand, 1 mana open, no white mana available. We'll crash in with our insects here. 1 has a counter on it, so that is 3, excuse me.
Yeah.
We'll hit the Narset down to wait. My math? Is this not a counter on the insect?
I don't know where it came. Oh, from the cauldron.
From the cauldron. So then, anyway.
Devin may have sent 1 damage to George down to 3 because Narset can't activate if it doesn't at least have 2 counters.
There we go. George down to 3 here. Lightning bolts away.
Yeah,
this Golgari
Yogg's
deck.
classic lightning
Yeah, I mean,
bolt
we're
deck.
talking about throwing white in there. Throw a 4th color in there too while you're at it.
Also,
Lightning bolt is good in every deck.
I have no interest in this new card from Karlov because you can only do it once per turn.
Yes, that was.
I hate those words.
Yeah, they were doing that a lot with cards recently. They put these really good effects and then they neuter them with those clauses.
They really just ruin how much I want to break things.
Or they've been stapling on like activate only as a sorcery onto a lot of stuff as well.
Can't stand that either, as this Yogg gets answered by a classic counterspell.
Classic.
Into Bowmaster, into die to exactly 3 points of damage. Woo!
Exactly. Devin will take it down into their advance to 2-0 over George. Well played there. Great games as well. Let's head into our backup match.
Yeah, they're just getting started back there.
We got David versus Alex. Excuse the camera issues there.
Might as call the right side Goliath took 4-0 last week.
Exactly. Number 1 on our leaderboard right now, Alex Luke, rocking the same deck he played last week. 2 rack. We see the namesake card out on the field right now. The rack. Object of the deck is to get those cards out of your opponent's hand. Grixis Control likes to have a lot of cards in hand. We'll see how this is going so far. Alex is already up a game.
So, how did I see Alex Luke today? So, talking to George, we're talking about something. He's like, yeah, but I'm not even at the top of the leaderboard. First thing Alex Luke says to me today, I am. Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, Alex is a very humble player.
Oh, yeah, Alex is great.
Absolutely. Was kind of I was talking to him last week after his 4-0 finish. He said he was kind of surprised about it. Maybe give our players some encouragement to get some of that pot at the end of our 12-week span here, playing for a good sum of money already. We have a lot of players participating in this league. You can still join it as well. There's a bunch of time to catch up as we're only in week 2 here.
All right, new tagline for the mini series. Good money, good times, good magic.
All right.
Good people.
Good people. Papa John's.
Papa John's.
There you go. Let's get sponsored.
Oh my.
We already have orange in our logo. That's good synergy there.
Yeah, cheese.
Pizza is orangey kind of vibes.
I've been saying it for years. Pizza's orangey.
Pizza's orangey. You can quote me on it. Beautiful looking Shieldred here from David's side of the field.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty good.
Showing off their Phyrexian nature. Also, the Shieldred showing that I have intentions of drawing cards in my deck. How do you feel about that, the rack player? How do you feel about me drawing some cards?
I see an Undying effect. I see a Shriekmaw, a Fatal Push, and another rack. Both of the racks on the field.
And if I'm not mistaken, Shriekmaw destroys a non-black creature, which does not bode well for dealing with this Shieldred.
It does not. It remained in Alex's deck for game 2 here, so he's got to be keeping it for a reason.
Answer everything else, right?
Grixis Control is 3 colors after all. Let's see if David has a deck list submitted I can get a peek at. Bryce, do you know if he's got one? No, did not submit, unfortunately. We'll yell at him for that later. Wait. Yes, he did. It's at the very bottom here.
We are using an Undying effect on our creature land. That is real gamer moments. Because this Mishra's Factory now is a 1/1 counter for all future times we're going to use it.
Banger. Okay, so I do have his deck list up. We can hit Murktide Regents, Subtlety, Tashana's Tiebinder, and Snapcaster Mages.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
With the Shriekmaw.
That has kill target Murktide on it.
Absolutely.
As a Flame of Anor being used, I imagine, for its draw 2 mode, while our Shieldred is
Shieldred honorary wizard, not an actual wizard though, so just the one mode for Flame of Anor here.
And David has this Dol Omnath, aka Manamo, in their mana base, showing they're looking to go even bigger with Shieldred plus Ring.
Absolutely, yeah. He's got full 4 of the 1 ring in his deck. Great synergy like we saw in round 1. See what Alex can do here, though. Still these 2 racks. David's got a hefty amount of cards. I count 5. So the rack won't start being relevant until he's got 3 or fewer. Right. Sorry, fewer than 3.
Yeah, Alex crushing in here with their beefed up creature land, putting David down to 19, shocking themselves down to 17. Using this Undying effect to keep your creature land around and making it a little stronger.
Ooh, a Shieldred of his own off the top. Alex will quickly cast that.
Whoop.
And a Subtlety. Did you just put that back on top? This seems fine.
Shieldred, it's a pretty good card.
It's a really good card,
it's a pretty. Oh, and I just see David as a Terminate in hand, too, for when they go to replay it later.
Gosh.
See, the hard part is...
Terminate, but you got the Undying effect.
Yeah, we do.
And you got the mana for it as well.
David and Alex playing with a lot of the same interactive cards. The issue is David can start going off with drawing big stuff and having these counter magic, and Alex is still trying to do 1 or 2 spells per turn.
Ooh, hardcast Lorien reveal. Don't mind if I draw 3 against the discard deck.
Right, stay out of rack range.
Easy peasy there. Drew a counterspell and a 1 ring.
Oh, look, perfectly left up mana for this counterspell. Don't mind if I do.
Yes. Crashing in with a Subtlety. We'll go to 17 to 15 in life totals. Alex will draw the shoulder that we know is on top. I think we'll see it cast here as well. No other action in his hand.
Just straight off the top into play, right?
We could Shriekmaw the Subtlety. I don't think that's too much of a play here.
I think Alex will most likely be holding it until the card Murktide Regent comes into play. And what's really great is Alex, when you play with conviction here, just being like shield off the top straight into play, it doesn't telegraph that you have the Undying effect in hand. It just shows I'm doing this thing available to me, right? So doing plays like that, like using the time during your opponent's turn to think, gives away the least amount of information possible.
Absolutely agree. David opting not to cast anything on Alex's end step there. Will terminate on his own turn.
Yeah, mostly on upkeep before the effect, but what if it just gets a little bigger? But what if it gets counterspelled?
Yeah, wanted to have some more mana open. We'll counterspell the Undying effect that he maybe anticipated.
Yeah, possibly. And now David's going to untap and slam the ring with this 3/3 flyer in play.
There you go. Here comes the ring.
Yeah, and we already have the Manamo in play if we want to start going wild.
Manamo plus ring really sets off the dopamine.
Right.
Dopamine receptors in the brain.
And you're drawing far more damage than you're taking because you're doing the draw trigger twice, but the damage only once.
Right. Got racks on both sides of the field here, giving Alex some encouragement. Is that another Undying effect off the top there?
Gosh, I don't know.
I think we might be seeing a Shriekmaw into the Subtlety soon if we don't get anything else to do here.
We can just hard cast our intimidating little elemental. And we will eat it, munch it.
Mine.
Just doing what you gotta do, killing off the creature, getting your own in play, hoping for the best. Dying into the ring.
Unfortunately for Alex, this rack is not symmetrical, so he's not taking any damage for having so few cards in his own hand.
Yeah, but we're about to go hog wild.
To the moon.
All right, we
See a Tashana's Tiebinder. I see another Flame of Anor, Lightning Bolt, lots of good spells, and David's hand a counter
David's
spell.
gonna have drawn
another
6
ring?
cards this turn.
Oh boy. Not gonna cast any of them though. Just gonna sit tight on a pile of lands.
Well, we at least have a Tidebinder if we want to flash something in. We've got Flame of Anor. We could do both of those cards. We could untap a ring and draw more card. We're Tidebinding the creature land.
In response to the activation.
What if we remove all the text from that?
Does it have? It doesn't have a land type, so it doesn't even tap for mana anymore. Is that how that works?
If we're doing it now, it won't be a creature. It'll just be a land that got its ability countered.
So it'll gain it back next turn.
It just will immediately still have it. If we want to pay the 1 and boot it up again, we can. Because it's not a creature, artifact, or planeswalker. It's currently a land being activated. So not the types that get their stuff erased.
Yeah, not erased permanently.
But you just counter the activation. If Alex wants, they could pay another 1 and activate it again.
Okay, I see.
The Augur of Skulls.
Augur of Skulls. This is a card I've only ever seen
Alex
play.
This is only in Alex Luke's collection. It's only played by Alex Luke, and it's incredible with the Undying effects.
I know, it bangs. It's a good one. We'll attack into the Tie Binder here. Oof.
Yep, and we now have our wizards, so we have double mode Flame of Honor. Which you remove your card, draw 2, and this is before we even used our Manamo for mana, so we're not even interested in going even deeper with our ring. Instead, just using the flame. But I don't know if I agree, because we're about to leave 2 mana on the table here, which could have been use Manamo, activate, use the ring, draw the cards. And we did. We left that 2 mana on the table.
All good, all good. No worries.
David, I can't believe you.
We got so many cards
You're
already.
going to draw 12 cards instead of 20? I can't believe this. Oh, immediate snap activation this turn. Nope. Oh, just kidding.
We're going to Bowmaster before we start doing ring shenanigans here.
David's making the motions of someone with big plans. Tide Binder.
Tide Binder, the regenerate. Killed from the Bowmaster trigger. Gonna start jamming. He is moving fast. Man with the plan.
Man with a plan, yeah. You can tell when Magic players think they got it rolled.
Not gonna start spinning the ring yet, though. We do have another ring as well.
Yeah. Alex is gonna go, Grief?
Nope.
No. Concede game? Nope. Continuing playing?
Yeah,
Continuing to play?
3 + 3 + 2 + 1 is 9. That's lethal by my count. Let's draw some cards.
We
and
have
grow
like 2
that.
bolts in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, just throw it on the table. Off to a game number 3. This Grixis control deck just putting the squeeze in the deck, trying to be the squeezer.
All right, let's take a look at some deck list here. Do we have them up yet? Let's take a look at Alex's first. This is our 4-0 deck from last week in addition to a Hammer Time list. 2 rack. Only plays 2 of the namesake cards. Sometimes we see 4. Sometimes we see 8
It's
even.
technically 6. There's 4 Urza Sagas, right? You can't fool me, Mr. Luke.
I guess. Lots of discard spells here. Let's take a look at that sideboard, though. Shriek Maws, Emrakul, Bloodchief Thirst, Surgical Extraction, Break the Ice, Curse Totem, Ratchet Bomb, and Ensnaring Bridge.
Okay, Ensnaring Bridge, awful. Your opponent has Flame of Honor, right? So they already had main board answers to a card like this. They're incentivized to have answers to cards like your Rack and Urza Saga. So any naturalizing style effects they're going to have. So Ensnaring Bridge, off the table. I'm looking at the Shriek Maws. We saw Alex did bring these in. And I guess maybe yeah, I know everyone likes that's a, I was gonna say probably the surgicals, because that's kind of the response. Just like, well, they're putting good cards in their graveyard. I could take the good cards out of their deck too, and it pairs better with Thoughtseize effects, which Alex is playing, right?
So that you don't have to let them have one copy of the card cast before you can deal with it.
So you can strip the important card and remove it entirely from the deck, kind of the way Mill utilizes these surgical extractions. I know it's most likely there to try to fight back against a Graveyard Matter style strategy, try to tag a Young Wolf while it's in there, or an Archon of Cruelty while it's in someone else's yard. But we could easily use it here just as a part of the grindy plan to remove important cards. But take a peek at Grixis deck.
Yeah, this is David's full 76 as well, rocking 61 in the main board. We got Flusterstorm, Stern Scolding, Force Negation, Chalice of the Void, Engineered Explosives, Alpine Moon, Pithy Needle, Stone of Air, Curse Totem, and Dress Down. Pretty similar to our other Grixis deck list that we saw as well in terms of a sideboard. Couple more Urzas? No, there's no Urza Sagas in this 3-color deck. No, a couple one-ofs in this sideboard that Ray did not have in his own. We're fully into game 2 already. This was a fast sideboard here. We got turn 1 Thoughtseize from Alex.
So, David, we're seeing
the 1 ring out of his hand, leaving an EE, Snapcaster, and some lands.
So we see David brought in these EEs, and I would assume David also brought in Alpine Moon to name Urza Saga and our Mishra's Factory. And I presume if we feel like we're really under duress, no pun intended, that force of negations might be really important, that it might be worth 2-for-1ing yourself to shut down Alex's very important plays.
Indeed, we'll see that Urzasaka come into play here. David will fetch up his Triome, get access to his full mana there. Got some good cards. He had a sideboard card already in his starting hand here, so that's a great keep there. Lots of mana to cast his spells.
This Explosives is basically a straight-up answer for the Urza Saga, that if Alex spends their turn making constructs, David can spend a single turn in answering them all.
Indeed, indeed. There's another Urzasaka in his hand too. Sheesh.
Yeah, play it out. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, sure. Let's start doing that. The Engineer Explosive says non-land, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
So then,
whoa, this card would be very different if we were out here stone raining for 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I was like, oh, it could hit like because Urza Saga has enchantment. So I was like, oh, maybe it could hit it. But of course, yeah. Still a land, so excluded from that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, if there was 2 mana Armageddon out there, we would have known already.
Armageddon is a great card to see a player discover for the first time.
What?
They're like, well, you can do that? It cost 4 mana? That's insane.
I'd play it. I would do it. Oh, I would do it.
There's a format you can play it in. I don't know if you subscribe to that format, but
once or twice. As you can see Alex forcing this use out of David, activating construct, knowing that there's this EE on 0, but also knowing David has very little to work with. That might as well force David's hand, force David's mana.
And now we can play out other stuff like this other Urza Saga and start getting value that way. We do have a 3rd chapter to resolve, though, so we do get some value there.
So,
get a rack.
So you saw Alex not playing their second saga, keeping it in hand, making, putting the belief in David that, oh, use your EE now, answer this one. EE's fully gone, then reveal the second one.
Get the Pithy Needle and put it on the Bloodstained Mire he knows in his hand. What are we getting?
Why they just looked at Pithy Needle for a hot second, but
they did.
You could get Pithy Needle and name the One Ring, and that might be a little more effective.
Yeah, there's the needle.
Because it's hard to name EE because you already saw one go by, and you assume that's a sideboard card anyways. This is most likely a preemptive answer to the Ring, which, kind of shuts down your rack effects anyways if they're drawing so many cards.
Indeed. You can play preemptive stuff like that just to the card that you lose the most to, instead of
right?
Something that you don't want to see immediately.
And you have this other saga to get the plan online later.
There you go. I think he's just got the one Pithy Needle access to. Let me see.
Oh, yeah. You don't need more of these.
Yeah, just the one. Other things he could have grabbed are Nile Spellbomb, Shadow Spear, Springleaf Drum, or, of course, the rack.
David, quick double bottom on this preordained, drawing a fresh card. None of those are what we were looking for.
When I see someone double bottom so quickly,
terrifying. They have a plan.
No, it makes me feel good because I usually feel like they're digging for a land. Because that's like the quickest decision you can make, obviously. David's pretty healthy on land, so it seems like he's looking for something else and only something else. I don't know what that card exactly is.
They may have also looked and just saw land, and when I definitely don't need
that could be the case as well. The scribble on the Pithy Needle is Bloodstained Mire. There you go.
You monster. I can't believe that's your choice.
There you go. Have a dead card in hand.
Yeah, using your Urza Saga to take a shot in the dark at Bloodstained Mire?
He knew about the Bloodstained Mire.
Yeah, from the Thoughtseize.
Yeah.
My goodness. Well, yeah. If it works, it works, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
We'll play out that Bloodstained Mire. I don't know. Actually, against a rack deck, might want to keep that in your hand. Just to keep up the cards in your hand up. We saw that last week against Alex players delay playing lands out of their hand to keep that hand size healthy. Cast out a Tishana's Tidebinder here, targeting that Urza Saga.
Yes, which is so cool. So this is the beautiful time to use this Tidebinder, because what will happen is you can counter the 3rd chapter, right? So the 3rd chapter does not trigger. But it does see that it's a saga with a number of counters equal to completion and will sacrifice itself.
Wait. So it counters the adding of a counter,
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing that you choose.
So we're countering the ability, right?
Uh-huh. So, I don't know how this interaction works at all. I'm trusting whatever you're saying, Dom. He looks like he got Nile Spellbound, so he was still able to resolve that 3rd chapter of the Urza Saga. And he made a construct as well. I'm confused then as to what exactly was Tidebindered.
We Tidebindered the first activation to get a construct on its 2nd chapter.
Okay.
It doesn't get locked, right? Because it's not a creature, artifact, or planeswalker.
Right.
So then when it gained its... I believe this construct shouldn't be here, but I'm not entirely sure. I think it never had the 2nd ability. Right, then we shouldn't have this construct from activating a 2nd ability activation because it never gained the ability to do so.
It never gained the ability because it gains it.
But we countered an activation, not the gaining of the ability. So all is clear here.
Yeah.
All is clear.
Okay. Yeah.
Because we're counting a single instant, right? So you could have either countered you make a construct, or you can counter Urza Saga gaining abilities.
Okay.
The literal saga ticking up part.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My favorite spot to hit it with a Tidebinder is when it goes to gain its 3rd chapter. You can stifle that. You never get to search, but it knows it's a saga that is complete and sacrifices itself.
I see. David had done all his stuff during the 2nd chapter activation.
And
so.
David countered an activation, not a gaining of an ability.
Got it. All right. So all
it's
that
a fun card
out,
to play with.
Tashana's Tidebinder, we mentioned this last week. You learn new things it can do every time you see it come down in the field. We'll go back to the game at hand here, though. We got a Rag starting to do some damage.
Yeah, but Shieldred Ring's here.
Shieldred Ring is here.
And Alex's hand of Land Undying Effect is not going to do anything. And then David's draw off the ring is the Manamo.
Oh. Oh boy.
Nah.
I'm looking at Alex's sideboard here, how to deal with this. The One Ring, I don't think he's got any way to take care of.
Well, you see, the answer to the One Ring we used on Bloodstainmire.
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't want to say, but I do want to say
we had the answer.
The answer
and
to
lost.
the ring named Bloodstainmire.
Yeah.
Memes are good, but so is winning the game.
Indeed. We maybe slowed David down for a turn there, turning off that land that he had. Just drew some more off the top, drew the good cards.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a deck full of good cards, the meme answer isn't always the right answer.
We do this Castle Lockthwain once again. We're running low on life.
Yeah, we're
and
at
with
9.
the Shouldred in play as well, don't think that's going to see any activation
if
here.
we
So
drew
no
a
way to
card
dig
from that
ourselves
castle,
out.
we would take in 6 damage to draw that one card.
Yeah.
Nah.
No way to dig ourselves out of this except our natural draw step. And even that's going to hurt a little bit.
And there aren't any answers in there. And our opponent is going to double ring this turn, gain an incredible card and life advantage, while holding up subtlety and other points of interaction in their hand if you try to fight back.
All right, David's just going to town here.
It's
just like game 2, gonna start doing the same stuff he did last time. Game, I feel pretty quickly falling out of Alex's reach here, unfortunately.
Yes.
Play a Bloodstainmire.
Oh, whoa.
Land for turn.
2 Bloodstainmires shut down by this ring, by this Pithy Needle. Too bad the ring drew 6 cards.
The power of this Pithy Needle. Incredible. He's only got 5 mana now instead of 7.
These are correct statements, absolutely.
Yeah.
You could say the same about Alex's life total. A lot lower than it should be. David's a lot higher than it should be.
Yeah.
As we possibly moving very quickly to final moments, as Alex is going to try to scrape together what they can of a hand of 2 lands Grief Undying effect.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at our leaderboard. I can't remember if David was here last week. I was trying to look at his
spots who knows?
On the leaderboard. If you're interested in our leaderboard standings, make sure to join our Discord, by the way. We'll share a QR code for that during the break. David was not here last week, so this will be his first entry into...
New points, new me.
Into the leaderboard. Of course, now is the perfect time to join because you have the most amount of weeks to play and
That's
the
a
most
great
amount
point.
of points to earn.
And we see David
We
at
see
this
the
point.
wheel. We see the wheel spinning.
The thing is they can just keep spinning.
Yeah. Let's see how many cards we want to get here.
David can draw 9 cards this turn if they want.
Alex happy to sit here. Just watching David play play some solitaire real quick.
I've played against Alex. Alex just plays out the game.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a time where they're like, "Yeah, I'll scoop it up here."
100%. I played against Alex on a feature match once for Pioneer, and they made fun of me because he was like dead, and I kept playing out like every single part of my deck, and he just like let me do it. Gotta play all the angels.
Bowmaster receives a stern scolding, getting yelled at by a wizard. Gandalf, to be precise, I think.
Oh, looks like it. I see a gray beard there.
Yeah, big Gandalf vibes for sure. Oh, yeah, boot up this Mishra's Factory. We got to get in for 34 points of damage if we can.
Yeah, we got to get there somehow. Start going now.
Block a Shieldred, gain a Feign Death. Okay.
There we go. Save some damage there.
If David's deck has Bolt in it somewhere, we already have a Snap in hand. We could very likely Bolt, Snap, Bolt, and put this game away very quickly. And we have, this Manamo +1 ring to just dig as deep as can be. There's a Bolt. I found it. Wee wee. And then Alex will die to their Shieldred trigger on their own turn. Wee.
I think he's gonna put the Bolt on the second card. So it'll be on top now.
We'll just draw with this Flame of Anor, I guess, now.
Sure.
This is tunnel vision. This is draw cards tunnel vision.
See how much time is left in a round here, perhaps. I'm not quite sure.
I think we may not have realized that Alex is going to go down to 5 from the Shieldred trigger and would have just had the Snap, Bolt, Snap all rolled up. We could have Snap, Bolt, Snap with... or we may just not be using all these fetches to be able to Snap, Bolt, Snap on our own turn with Counter Magic backup.
Oh, and now the Grief can rip.
We're playing out this Flame, so we're going to draw the Bolt from drawing it here.
Bolt.
But then it's going to get munched on by this Grief.
Does he have fetchable sources? That's a good question.
Yep.
2 of these fetches also unusable from this Pithy Needle, so not as much mana available as you think. The Tarn is not a Bloodstained Mire.
So, there's 2 snaps. Okay, the game's over.
This game is very over. We're gonna play it out though. We're down to 1 here. Did he target Alex with the draw? With the Flame of Anor? That's sick. That's good stuff.
Acting as a pseudo bolt for us, but now
builds off the top.
Yes, David.
I love Magic the Gathering. Lightning bolt.
Oh my gosh, there's lightning bolt.
It's
lightning
bolt from the top rope. David will take it down in 3 games there. Advance to 1-1 over Alex Luke, who will fall to 0-2 after his 4-0 finish last week. Definitely not out of it yet. All sorts of magic to still happen tonight. That'll be both of our feature matches for our round 2 coverage. Before we go, let's take a look at that Discord QR code that I reminded you of earlier. That's where you can get access to the deck lists that were played tonight, the leaderboard for tonight, our league structure, discussion with all of the players at the store. You can find out cards that you can borrow or trade for, deck list discussion, all that good stuff in the Discord there. That'll wrap up our round 2 coverage, though we'll be right back for round 3. Stay tuned.
See you all soon.
Welcome back. We're in round 3 of Wednesday Night Modern here at the store. We have some familiar faces on stream, perhaps for some people. We got Marty, who's a regular at the store, Eric, a regular at the store, and competitor in the most recent NRG Championship Series, usually a legacy player. Eric picked up Modern to play in our championship event and has been enjoying it. Is here rocking Hammer Time, the deck he played at Champs.
Eric's learning how to bonk.
Hometown hero.
And it does help that the other 2 decks Eric played at Champs were George's.
Yes, no.
So
Eric played not a single of his own cards at Champs. All 3 decks were borrowed, loaned, etc. from other players
I
in the
even
area.
had cards in Eric's deck over at Champs.
Exactly. It was a group effort to get this man 3 new decks to play for Champs. Like I said, legacy player. That's how he qualified in the team trios last year. Was able to play some games, and he's rocking his jacket as well. Looking slick, dude.
Yeah.
We'll shuffle up here. Marty rocking Rhinos, as he usually does. Member of Team Flex slot as well. Represent.
Marty got so mad that I called him a best decker because he used to play Scam, and now he plays Rhinos, and I'm fully cemented in what I said before.
Yeah, that's not helping his case at all. Nope. Looks like he's keeping a full 7 himself. Eric mulling down to 6 here.
It's not like Marty's out here playing like Grixis Rhinos or something, right? It's like you're playing the deck for folks right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
nothing wrong with that,
no.
But it's funny that he said I'm not, and then played
like,
that.
Marty will get us when we were chatting about stuff. When we were playing on George's stream, he's like, "All right, known best decker checking in real quick, just letting you guys know these aren't the best ones." But then we were playing like Domain and Standard. We're like, "This is it. This is the one."
That's the one. Domain is definitely the best deck in Standard right now. Speaking of Standard, I don't know if you heard the VML just opened up their registration today. Super excited to see that.
Jam-packed, too. I heard people flocked to joining.
I was one of them. I registered for the VML. I was very nervous. I know that there's some really strong competition, so I'm really excited to...
Stone Cold's in there for sure.
Yeah, try it out, give it a go, play some Standard, compete for some RC bids, maybe even a Pro Tour spot if I do really, really well. So I'm really excited for that. Keep an eye out for me. Cheer me on if I ever get on coverage. Who knows?
Yep. All for homies supporting homies. A couple other...
I think I'm gonna freaking lose so bad, man.
All
but
right.
I'm gonna have fun.
Okay, wait. Note to everybody out there. I say this to my teammates because there's a lot of stacked RCQs in the Chicagoland area. It's one game at a time, one opponent at a time.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to beat the whole room. You just have to beat the person in front of you.
Exactly. Those are wise words. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's get down to the game at hand, though. Couple of land passes. We'll start on turn 2 here with the Stoneforge Mystic on Eric's side of the board. He's going to grab an equipment named Pauldra Complete? No, it'll be the namesake hammer.
So a part of this is we know Marty almost will have an answer to this Stoneforge. Whether it's a Dead Gone or a Fire Ice, there's so many options to remove this card, which means Eric is very unlikely to be able to use it to put something in, right? Your Rhino's opponent has made 0 game action so far, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to be aware that they're most likely on the hunt to remove whatever you put into play.
Exactly. Rhinos doesn't usually have too many early game plays. They have those tricky split cards to give them some action on those early turns, but of course you don't want anything to interfere with your cascade. So you can't have 1-drops or 2-drops in your deck.
But the part that Eric's going to need to be very aware of is trying to figure out if, and if so, how many copies of Flame of Anora does Marty have in their deck? How many main deck shatters for your hammers will your Rhino's opponent have?
Interesting question indeed. He hasn't submitted a deck list, so we'll just assume he's rocking stock list.
You played a Mutavault, you're playing Flame of Anora.
There you go. That's how you know.
Because you can use the Flame of Anora and choose Shatter and Deal 5 and kill the hammer and the creature holding the hammer.
Nice. That seems pretty darn good.
I'd recommend it. Or we see that Eric may be setting up with Urza Saga as well. You could use it to kill off Saga tokens using the Shatter mode, not the Deal 5. You might be able to unlock 2 different modes, both hitting creatures.
Absolutely, yeah. Either of those modes, Shatter or Deal 5, will generally scoop up a Construct token there. Eric not going to leave mana up to create a Construct, instead going to opt to grab a Stoneforge Mystic, which is going to get Tidebindered. So no equipment grab for him there, but it will be available next turn to put a hammer. No, you wouldn't put a hammer into play, silly me. But
now, there are moments where you would, right? If you want to sneak one in with Sigarda's Aid in play or whatever, you would absolutely do it.
There's no enablers on the field as of yet, so I'd be very surprised to see that happen. Tidebinder will get in for some damage here.
And I think I've said this about recent Rhinos. I'm a big fan of this deck because with each iteration they do on the Rhino strategy, it becomes much more a pile of just good cards that happens to play Rhinos, and not a bunch of cards you have to play because you're playing Rhinos.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we saw Tepper evolve to throw some footfalls of his own into the deck, and that's a very different looking deck from a stock Rhinos list.
Yes. But Marty here being able to play Tidebinder, Odawara, Force of Negation, like, oh, those are just cards that are in their hand right now, alongside just having the Cascade engine. It's getting better and better each time they print playable cards.
Eric floated a mana off of the Urza Saga, fetched a Shadow Spear, is going to pitch an Amaria's Call to cast a Solitude, assumedly targeting this Tidebinder here. Marty hesitating on a response. He's got a Dead Gone. A Force Negation won't do anything here.
And I think another Tidebinder, I tried to look at it and it got quickly hand shuffled away.
It's an Odawara, I think.
Dead.
He'll dead. The
Stoneforge.
Not going to use.
Then let this go.
Not going to use the mana he is available there to put anything out with the Stoneforge. He's got a Forge Anew in his hand. He could cast for 3 mana. No equipments to grab with it, though. Right? That's how ETB, you can grab something out of the yard?
Yeah, it reanimates an equipment for you.
Another hammer in hand as well.
Eric hand flooded
That's so interesting to me. He had a hammer in hand, grabbed another hammer. He could have drawn the second hammer, of course, but yeah, not grabbing the Cauldra is really interesting. That would have been great to have put in with the Stoneforge Mystic there.
It's Pure Steel time.
Pure Steel, we've got 1 artifact. So, Forge Anew, first equip is free.
For free.
We'll throw that on there, might as well. Keeps it safe from a Dead Gone, which is 2 damage, I believe.
Yes, and also now it can block a Mutavault. Not sure if Marty was interested in attacking with one, but we do now have a 3/3 that could rumble in combat. But these 4/4s are just a little bit bigger.
Very quick Cascade off the Violent Outburst here. We'll get these Rhinos out onto the field. And this Pure Steel Paladin not looking too mighty in the face of these 4/4s.
No, and now Marty could even use their Odawara if they want to remove this creature from play or remove the Shadow Spear from play. It's all bad decisions for Eric, quickly taking the damage.
Crashing in here, we'll go to 21-9 are the life totals. And we'll pass back to Eric here, sitting on just 2 mana. Another Pure Steel off the top is not going to be too great there. We'll get a second artifact into play. Marty will sit with it on the stack.
Marty's hand is Force Odawara, and basically the question for the rest of the game is this the card worth answering? This hammer? No.
I don't think so at all.
I have 1 point short lethal in play, and I can use Odawara to deal with whatever you're going to put these things on.
Unless you think like Eric's got like an ink moth in his hand, I don't think you counter this hammer.
Yeah.
There's like, you let this boy sit.
And this is the feel of the Rhinos deck. Is it very likely the fate of this game hinges on every decision you make from here on out. You have the pressure in play. You have 2 good answers in hand, but the question is which questions do you answer?
All right, Marty disagrees with us and is going to cast his Force Negation. Getting rid of this hammer.
It's going to feel bad because of the second hammer, which there's no way Marty knows of second hammer.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the thing is this is still only second artifact, so Pure Steel not full active, but the Forge allowing you to do so, and just a big hit and a big life gain.
Indeed. Countering the hammer is correct there because you would just be dead now.
Well, you could have Odawara the Pure Steel. You could have kept up perfect protection.
I see. Very good point.
Like I said, Odawara is a card that makes me feel incredibly safe because whatever is the problem, you always have the answer.
Can you Tidebinder a Odawara, a channel?
Yeah.
That's so gross, dude. Oh my god.
It is the activated ability of a land in hand.
That's crazy. Oh, that's nasty. All right, I freaking love that card, man. Unless they have Surge.
Yeah, the hard card to play around is the Surge.
Because you have Hexproof, so yeah.
But I don't think you're dead. That's the thing about the Surge card sometimes out of this.
All right, with this Trampler here, Marty is not going to have any blockers.
No, we're most likely trying to bounce this Pure Steel in combat.
Agreed. I don't know if Eric Rock's main board surges. We know the other hammer player does.
At this point, I think it's a part of it because it just is your counter magic, right? You no
Yeah.
longer need the blue splash because the surges just are spell pierce but better in the deck.
Surge is a really good card. The card before Blacksmith skill left a little more to be desired and usually always hung out in the sideboard. Surge just a little bit stronger and good enough to put in that main board.
And I've also forgot, this is game 1. Eric had main deck Solitude. I didn't even think about this. A card that I usually see out of the sideboard of the Hammer deck, understanding maybe the importance of cards like Titan going on right now, and just having a few more main deck answers.
Absolutely. I think a main board Solitude is not loose at all. That
No.
card's good against so many decks.
You're already playing the Emerius Calls in your deck to play them in the sideboard. Might as well try them out in the main.
Might as well. Unless you also put the Emerias. No, you're not taking up sideboard slots to put the Emerias.
Yeah, because you
That'd
just
be
place
silly.
those in your planes, right? They
Totally.
just allow you to have a little something. I think Marty drew a Subtlety here for turn. We have kind of run out of toys to play with. And the Hammer player has the Hammer.
Hammer player does have the hammer. The Shadow Spear is unequipped currently because we didn't have the mana.
But we're going to be able to pop this Saga, go find another Hammer, put all 3 of the equipments onto Pure Steel, free all around. Oh, and we have Cauldron in hand as well.
Ooh. Interesting. Don't have the mana to cast
No,
that.
but that might have been why we didn't get off Stoneforge earlier. It might have been Rotting in hand the whole game.
The whole game?
There it is.
Interesting. Yeah, Calder's only a 1 of, so could have just had it the whole time. I don't. There's no way because he would have put it in when the Stoneforge died. He would have. There's no way you just like leave that sitting in your hand.
Oh, Eric debated getting this Gingerbrute. Love it. Gingerbrute themselves would be the 3rd artifact, and you can make it completely unable to be blocked.
Re-equip the hammer. Activate Gingerbrute so it's unblockable except with creatures with haste and kill him.
But the question is Marty has so much mana up. Eric's trying to figure out what card it could be.
He's got 1 whole card in his hand.
1 whole card.
But you could just win.
Yeah, this Mutavault, not a blocker. And we know the card in Marty's hand.
Marty also not representing lethal himself. Unless he's got
Cascade spell.
Unless he's got a Cascade spell and can kill on the crackback.
But Shadow Eric will be able to kill anyways.
Shadow Spear, free equip, has lifelink though. So I think we're good.
Yeah, Eric is, I believe, mostly playing around another Odawara. Main deck green Force.
He's gonna grab a hammer, chuck it on there.
Yes,
reveal
Eric,
the rest of his
give
hand.
them all these. Show them all of them.
All right, that'll be game 1 in Eric's favor there over Marty and his Rhinos deck. Let's take a look at some deck list as players sideboard here. Neither of them have submitted, so we've grabbed some off of Goldfish. We have Endurance, Magus of the Moon, Tashana's Tiebinder, Brotherhood End, Flame of Anor, Mystical Dispute, Force of Vigor, and Blood Moons out of a potential Rhinos sideboard. What are you liking here against a Hammer deck, Dom?
Force of Vigor. Give me all the copies of Flame of Anor, whether in the main side, I want all of them. If I'm a sideboard that these Brotherhoods ends, I want all of those. An incredible card against your Hammer opponent. And I actually like some number of Endurance in the matchup.
Really?
It just has reach. So if you're like worried of dying to the Inkmoth Nexus plan or whatever, sometimes it just allows you to have the answer while just having like flash blockers because you're so incentivized to leave up your forces and your flames and your Tidebinders.
Okay, interesting. There's also like the very niche interaction of clearing his graveyard with
for the
Forge.
Yeah. Like I don't want all 4, but I'm not mad if there's a couple of copies in my deck just because I feel a little better in case they're trying to sneak an Inkmoth win in. But other than that, I'm looking to shatter, kill everything that I possibly can.
Are there any cards absolutely dead in this main board that you're immediately siding out, or are there just weaker cards? This Murktide Regent feels a little slow.
I think Murktide's slow in the deck in general. I'm not a fan. If we're someone that is on mainboard Mystical Dispute, we probably don't want that either. Then it's hard because a lot of what you have do favorably interact, but you might just be trying to lower your curve a little. So I can imagine shaving on things like Tidebinder or whatever, just because you need spots. You're bringing in these pile of green cards with these forces. I mean, I know some people are wild. Maybe you shave like a copy or 2 of Shardless just to like do what you need to. Just because Hammer is very quick to kill you.
Rhinos can be quick too.
Yeah, it's hard. I just feel like if you're Rhinos, you're bringing in so many of the interactive spells.
Hmm.
Like, you're definitely like, I'm going to try to control what they're doing.
Yeah.
And Rhinos is sometimes easier to piece it together from the scraps than Hammer is.
All good points. Let's take a look at a hammer list as well while players shuffle up here. Classic sideboard here. We don't see the main board solitude, that Eric was rocking, but let's take a look at this sideboard here. Drannith Magistrate, Hushbringer, Lavinia, Sanctifier on Vec, Teferi Time Raveler, March of Otherworldly Light, Soul Guide Lantern, and Cursed Totem.
So our hope is what sideboard cards the Hammer player has for Cascade matchups, which has usually been these Drannith Magistrates.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is most likely not if Eric has them, but how many do we have, right? It might be a little hard for it to pay off when we have just one, but if we've got 4 in there, then we're far more likely to play them. It survives Dead Gons and Fire Ices. So that is usually our best bet, our best answer to what Rhinos has going on. The question will just be if we have them and if we draw them.
What do you think of March of Otherworldly Light as well to bring in against Rhinos?
What are we looking to use it as an answer for?
March exiles creatures, right? Based on CMC.
Yes.
And Rhinos are 0, so that seems
Mhm.
pretty free there.
The question is, I think, Hammer, you are the aggressor, and it's hard to bring in a sideboard card that half for ones with the Cascade interactions, right?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Because it's hard to only answer a Rhino and let the other stick around when I'm already trying to just kill you dead.
All right, let's take a look at the action here, though. Marty was on the play and suspended a Crashing Footfalls on turn 1. Eric's responded with a Springleaf Drum, Esper Sentinel, and Sigard's Aid. Much different from his game 1
yeah, this
start.
is the early. This
is the good stuff out of
this,
Hammer.
Yeah, this is the terrifying stuff.
Absolutely. I love an early Springleaf Drum. Really lets a Hammer player accelerate and get out those big cards more quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm pretty sure if I was out there battling, I would be playing Rhinos. Like, I think this deck we're going to see a lot at the upcoming RCs. It is just, and it is the easiest deck to pick up if you're not familiar with the format.
Yeah.
If you like qualified for the modern RC through some other channels, and you're like, well, I still got to go play. This deck isn't hard to be like, oh, I know what this is doing. It's not like picking up Hammer or picking up Amulet or picking up like some of these harder but powerful decks. This deck is powerful and understandable.
I think it's got a low floor, not too low of a ceiling though. I think there's, like any good Magic deck, lots of niche interactions, and getting good reps in with this deck is going to make you a much more better pilot.
But sometimes you draw a hand and you go, oh, this goes dead, Fire Ice, Shardless. Got it.
Yeah, absolutely. Not too much action from Marty yet, just slowly ticking down those time counters. We'll see a Pure Steel Paladin enter on Eric's side of the board there. 2 artifacts out currently. This Urza's Saga. We'll start getting some there as well, so we can get some free equips in a second here.
And if I'm Marty, I'm actually really glad I drew my Rhino this game. It allows me to use my early turn mana to put this on suspend, knowing that I can enact my control plan for every turn of this game, and the Rhinos are already shore up. Those are coming later. And I know that I can just interact, knowing the army in the can's coming.
Absolutely, yeah. Just because you don't have 1 or 2 drops, you still have interaction. Those force and negations are presumably still in the deck. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of creatures in a Hammer deck.
But you got to get the hammer.
Yeah.
You got to get
the hammer. Doesn't always get casted, though.
Yeah. It answers hammer, answers Sigard's Aid, can answer the surge effects that we're so worried about.
Absolutely. Did George submit a deck list this week? He did. You can watch it on our VOD, or you can join our Discord if you want access to what he was
playing. Check out round
number
2 to check out that deck list.
Yeah, make sure to hit us with a follow as well. George is on the stream pretty frequently. We have a lot of good players to catch as well if you're interested in other decks too.
Bonks incoming.
Speaking of, we see the Surge of Salvation we were just talking about in Eric's hand. Good force negation target there.
Which card got blessed and moved into the light spot?
That would be the Springleaf Drum.
The Springleaf Drum. Okay, so we have Metalcraft online due to our Espo Sentinel in this Pure Steel Paladin, so it could be time to start moving stuff around.
Yeah, that hammer was a cast triggered, or was on the stack. It's now resolved. Enter the battlefield will trigger the Pure Steel. Draw a card there.
And it might still be worth it no matter what to try to put the hammer on the Sentinel So the Sentinel trigger is X equals 11,
Do you
not X
pay
equals
the
1.
11?
Yeah. Do you pay the 11 is much harder. Especially
The
against
day that answer is yes is
all right, is your opponent playing 12 posts? Like, where is all this coming from?
interesting. Yeah. I think if I ever see that, I'll know I'm in an alternate timeline. I am not in the main timeline if someone pays 11 for an Esper Sentinel.
Did you see what we targeted with this Tidebinder?
I think it might.
Oh, it might have been. Oh, we're doing it. We're in combat. We're ambushing in
So we're
combat.
just doing that. The Sigarda's aid. Excuse me. The Sigarda's is. I was saying we have instant speed equipped. We do not. So
No,
we cannot save.
we got Forge Renewed last game. That's how
Yeah.
it's lightly. Oh, we do. We can use the Pure Steel plus the Spring Leaf to flash in a hammer.
We could flash in a hammer, but we
Yep.
can't equip the current hammer on the board. We
Yeah,
could have
yeah. No,
equipped.
Sigarda does that for us, right? If we flash in a hammer, Sigarda equips it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We could have just equipped the hammer in our main phase, though. And that did not happen. So this Tidebinder came out.
The question is
What
it looking to block?
He said attack, go to blocks, no blocks, flash in the hammer.
And I think we may have countered
the Sigarda's aid trigger then?
Beautiful.
I see. Okay.
So cool. This card's incredible.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Shout out to Tidebinder.
Thank you, producer. Appreciate you.
This game's so hard.
A lot to keep up with. We're doing our best, though. I feel like we've gotten a lot better at it over our months of commentating as well.
Yeah, and then they keep printing complicated cards. And it's like, oh no, I got to relearn.
My first week of playing Standard, Adam came to the store and played, and he said, there's so much text on all these cards.
All these cards have so much text. That's so true. Tidebinder's a full novel, but it's a good book to read.
It's She worried.
Charlotte's Agent, this only has one word.
It does. It do. It's got its own paragraph, but only one relevant word there. We'll hit a Crashing Footfalls a couple cards
Do you
deep
pay the
there.
one? Did you pay the one? Aw, you did.
You did. Good job remembering the triggers there. It's always a tricky one.
And now Marty's going to get 2 rhinos here.
And then 2 next turn.
2 next turn, right? Exactly. This is why I love having the early rhino on suspend.
Eric's creatures have a chance to get real big here, though. We have a hammer. We have, let's see this hand. We got a ginger brute that can carry a hammer.
Ginger bees in hand. Wee-oo.
We'd have to use all of our mana to cast and activate.
Play.
It's unblockableness.
Is it 2 to activate Ginger Brute?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I thought it was 1.
There's 1 for something else, I thought.
Oh, I thought it was the flop.
There's 2 activations.
Because it is a food, so it's 2 to sacrifice it, right? But 1 to haste it?
Let's see here.
This
I
is
think
so
Bryce
important.
Is pulling it up.
This is so important to Eric's turn.
Oh, you're right.
Okay,
It's the
perfect.
food. It's the food
Yeah,
that costs 2. So yeah, just the 1 so we can leave Surge up.
Or we could double hammer. We can play Ginger Brute. We can activate its ability. We could cast a hammer. We could move the hammer.
We could do all of that. Marty is tapped. Let's see. He's got 2 subtleties.
His subtlety. Well, how scared of Ginger Brute are you, Marty? Because Ginger Brute terrifies me.
I would be scared of Ginger Brute. Do you lose the last 2 cards in your hand?
Yeah. Do you use 2 subtleties to answer this Ginger Brute and leave yourself with just Stomping Ground in hand? Oh boy.
And in the tank here, this Ginger Brute. Who knew this little Gingy boy could be so scary?
I think Wizards did. They reprinted it. They're like, people didn't get it the first time. Try it again.
Yeah. Had a banger debut in a Throne of Eldraine trailer back from Lore Wilds.
Why?
Which art do you like better? Do you
the
like
original. Original's so freaky.
Is that based on principle or?
No, I don't care about those principles. Freaky? No. The subtleties happening here where we are, in fact, can answer this Ginger Brute. I do like the original. He just looks like a scary gingerbread man.
He's a freaky little boy.
He's a freaky little guy.
Eric debating whether to top or bottom this Ginger Brute here in the resolution of this subtlety.
The new Ginger Brute too cute for me.
Too cute.
And I'm someone
Eldraine is a cute set.
I sometimes purposely pick the uglier arts, though.
You've said that before.
Yes, yeah.
That's why you like those One Rings.
Yes. Yeah, I like them weird.
Yeah, the little acid chip rings. I can respect that.
I appreciate the respect.
Chat, how do you feel about the different Gingerbrute arts? Do you like freaky old boy or cute?
Yeah, you like Candyland or Uggo? Which one?
What's oh, I thought Uggo was like an off-brand Candyland for a second.
Porn moment here.
Oh, okay. We're gonna play out this giver. We have this untapped mana. Why do we use the white source to cast the Gingerbrute? That's wild, sir. Sir, we could have had Surge up. Casting. This Crashing Footfall is coming off suspend. Do you pay? Do you pay the 11, sir?
You know, I would if I could, but I can't, so I shan't. Oh, no. Oh,
Paladin is 2 damage marked from...
Hey, Marty's locked in. Yeah, we're going to call a judge real quick here. Because our footfalls came off suspend. We went on autopilot and started cascading. But the
Oh, no!
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It's all good, Holmes.
And then also, what is... Chat's mentioning damage on the Paladin? Did it have a hammer? What? Where's the damage?
So if the Paladin was blocked in combat and then the hammer was moved, it would have had damage marked on it.
Okay, and is that what Bryce is fixing as well?
I think we're fixing the cascade problem. We'll see in just a moment.
Fix that one as well. Blocked by a 2/2 and he moved the hammer, so that also needs to get fixed too. Oh boy.
This is how we learn. This is how we learn.
Yeah. All good here. This is the place to make the mistakes. Not even a mistake. It's just, you know what happens.
It's learning.
It's learning.
It's learning. You gotta learn. Hey, game hard. Game hard.
Game very hard. I'm very curious to know how this resolves here.
Bryce, this Pure Steel Paladin should also be dead. It took 2 damage in combat, then the hammer moved.
All right, yeah, we're going to get multiple judge fixes as well.
We're getting everybody on it.
Judge to the rescue here. Reminder that judges are there to help you if something like this happens. Make sure to call a judge. Don't try and figure it out yourself.
No.
I'll let the judge help you there. Devin scolding Marty a little bit there.
Yeah, it also is very fun when the judge is a homie.
He's a friend, yeah, you know him.
And we're just checking all information, confirming stuff with the opponent, making sure what cards are known and are not known so that we can kind of best randomize this deck.
Are we fixing everything okay out there?
Yep.
Shuffle it before the cards you know is the fix there.
Yep, we're working
and
at
we can clean up the Paladin easy peasy. No need to worry about that as well.
Yep, Pally dead, deck being shuffled, easy peasy. Welcome to Modern, round 3, Hammer versus Rhinos, tier 1 versus tier fun.
Tier fun. We had Merfolk on earlier. We had Grixis Wizards.
Yep, this is 1 versus fun.
Are you putting Hammer in that category as well? Where did Hammer fall in the last tier list?
All I did is I said Hammer is fun and Rhino
fun.
is 1.
And 1.
Yep.
O-N-E or W-O-N?
Hopefully both. We'll see how the round goes.
Marty's down a game right now, so we'll see.
But yeah, but Sylveon and Suicune are here now, so...
I love the Pokemon tokens as Rhino... Pokemon cards as Rhino tokens.
It depends on what mood I wake up in. It's either I'm going to use Pokemon or I'm going to use the exact specific perfect token, and I won't know until the day I play.
Yeah, Marty's opted for both here. Only has enough Rhino tokens for 1 resolution of the spell, so we got some backups.
I've said this before. I just get so worried my opponent's going to not know the Rhino has trample, and I'm going to feel really bad, and that's what incentivizes me to use the real token.
That's fair. We're going to Otawara, and we'll Surge with the... Oh, it doesn't even matter that we didn't have white men up because we had the Springleaf Drum under the halo there.
Right.
Forgot about it.
Hidden from us all, but still good just the same.
Yeah, Eric can see it just fine, and that's the important
You're
person.
right. Yeah, as long as Eric can see it, and as long as Marty can see it.
All right, draw for turn. We'll uptick this Urza's Saga.
I'm still scared of this Gingerbrute. I was scared last turn. I was scared this turn.
That's the thing about subtlety. It's not a counter.
I think I would have played the Gingerbrute last turn because now this hammer is not going to be able to get equipped to the Gingerbrute.
Because the paladin's dead?
The paladin's dead, and when we search for this hammer, Gingerbrut's not there to put it on yet. So it's Shadow Spear time.
Shadow Spear will be great.
We're gonna auto-equip this to this Sentinel, and it's Esper's turn.
We have 14 toughness to block with.
But I think
15 power to deal to a creature.
Eric might suit up a 12 power blocker and say to Marty, I will eat a rhino and gain 12 each time, and you're not going to win that race.
Can't Marty just like block more? What do you mean just eat up one?
So I'm saying Eric leaves it on blocking duty and says, if you come into combat, I win this combat, and you're the one attacking.
I see. Left the mana floating, did not make a construct for the Urza Saga resolution there. So with just 2 cards in hand, down to 2 lands, but we have the mana floating and the Spring Leaf as well. 4 mana to work with. Play a Gingerbrute, equip a Shadow Spear. The Shadow Spear entered. Is Sigarda's a cast or an ETB?
It is an ETB trigger.
ETB, so there you go. Yeah, that should ideally be on something here. Maybe we're still on the stack. Eric's deciding where to throw the spear.
But that is a positive decision for the player, so we cannot intervene.
Yeah. Yeah, if they miss it, they miss it here.
If your creature's supposed to be dead, I get you.
Yeah.
If you miss your trigger, that one's you.
Absolutely. All right, shuffling stuff around here. Eric really having a good think here about what exactly he should do.
Yeah, I think I just want to make this super blocker and put all the onus on Marty to have to do something and hope these cards in my hand are surges.
I'm dying to know what Eric's got in hand here. I can't remember. He already used the surge. That's gone. No. Marty sitting
and I think this might be why Eric is thinking for so long too.
Yeah.
And Marty happy to sit here with their army.
Yeah, Marty's got a ton of power on the field. Definitely not out of this game. Life totals are pretty even here.
This Shadow Spear, I think, is looking to change that, right? That's starting to become the main equation on where these life totals go.
We'll move to combat here. Swing in with this Esper Sentinel that has both the Shadow Spear and the hammer. Be plus 11. This will be 12 total. Crashing in. Lifelink Trample.
Marty does have the option to throw a pile of rhinos in front of it, but then you lose all your rhinos.
We could block with block with the team. Well, block with 3. So you leave. You have 2. Marty gonna take the full damage though. We're gonna see a huge life swing total.
And we would have died if Eric had a hammer in hand. So
yeah, could have flashed out a hammer.
Gingerbrute's here, and this Giver is online, right? So we have this available if we need it.
Giver is online, yes. Not summoning sick here, so we have this protection on a stick. Stoneforge Mystic is one of the cards in hand. Eric was debating on playing there.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
He can give pro green. The rhinos are green, so that is an option as well.
Giver gives full protection. That's right? That's how it works?
Is it just full protection?
I
thought
can't
it was
remember
the color.
if it's hex free for protection.
Let's give a peeksy doodles at that. Ooh, Ink Moth Nexus, the land for turn on Eric's
terrifying.
side. Very, very scared there. We're already at 5 though. Protection from colorless or from the color of your choice.
So the issue is Marty has these green and blue blockers, so he can't fully push, and a Mutavault in the mana base. So the Shadow Spear is the card that really changes the math.
I feel like is Marty not dead here? Can we not just throw? We have nothing to re-equip this hammer onto the Gingy Bee.
But this Esper Sentinel has trample. If you go pro green, it gets blocked by Lifelink or Tidebinder that absorbs 4. We take 10.
Yeah.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it.
Of course, Marty still has 1 card in hand. He's got...
If that card's Force of Vigor.
Yeah.
If that card's Flame of Venor. If that card is Odawara. If that card is...
If this card is Flame of Anor.
If that card is Fire Ice and we just tap the Esper Sentinel. If that card is Dead Gone and we bounce the creature.
All right. Lock with the team.
Now we're going to give this pro green and we just eat all these rhinos. And that works too for now.
Trample over. Are we...
Because we would have blocked with a full 16 on this 14 power
If you give
creature.
pro green, does it not... It still gets eaten up? The damage still gets eaten up by it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So he... Eric playing very cautiously here, which I think is correct. I would just... I would say pro green swing.
Pro green swing.
Pro green swing. Oh, it was a land.
And that's the game.
All right, all right. Eric will take down the Rhinos player and Marty in 2 there. Advance to 3-0. Our champs local killing it tonight. Let's head into our backup match, though, and see what they're doing there. We got another Hammer player for you.
Board state incoming.
Our 4-0 from last week, and our Merfolk player has no cards in hand. Is that correct?
Maybe. Okay. It is 3 for our Hammer player, 10 for the folk.
It's Knives Out, Chris Evans versus. Have you seen that movie? That's like beautiful literally sweater. The exact sweater there. Sweater.
As this construct with a spear and this germ with a cauldron. And wow, look how many merfolk Joshua has been able to acquire with this deep root pilgrimage.
That pilgrimage has been doing work. Oh, and
there's
goodness.
A chalice on 2 on this merfolk side, which is interesting because it really locks the merfolk player
from a merfolk player. Wow, this hex catcher also. So all these 1/1s are big. Spaloon is also out. Whoa. Okay. Life total 3 to 10.
But Tom is attacking here with this Shadow Spirit up construct, which is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 power attacker with the Shadow Sphere 6 power.
Just chuck some merfolk at it. Yeah.
I think some merfolk are indeed being chucked.
He's got a few cards in hand on Tom's side of the field.
Tom has a pile of cards in hand.
He has 1 mana available with the Springleaf Drum and Construct sitting out. His Giver also probably available as well.
And very importantly, it looks like Tom does not currently have an island. It doesn't look like anything is an island, has become an island.
That's a very good point.
And our merfolk don't have Island Walk anyways. Just the one Rashad and Dockhand does.
Indeed. Oh, Josh does have a card in hand. We'll move to damage here, but before damage, Giver runes will activate pro
to
blue.
Stave that creature. Okay.
Trample over for a couple points of damage.
Eat those all up. Gain a little bit for ourselves. We have 2 blockers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The merfolk are coming.
How much damage did he trample over for? Was that 5 damage he trampled over for with 3 blocking merfolk that were buffed? Am I missing some damage there? What was that price? Cauldron? Yeah, I feel like I counted that. Oh, the Cauldron also attacked. Excuse me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, yeah, no travel damage, just the damage from the Cauldron.
Yeah.
We're in. We're here. We're seeing it now.
Cool. We're caught up. Tideshaper. That'll give you Island Walk.
But we only have 1 Island Walker.
Hit that Ink Moth. Yeah.
Beautiful choice. Surge.
Oh.
Ding.
All right. Okay.
Fries are done. Now, my thing is you have 1 blocker now. These are all souped up, lorded up 1/1s.
2/2s. We have Hex Catcher.
This is what I'm saying. Yeah, they're
souped up 1/1s.
The 1/1s proper are beefed up. And we're even going to try to counter the Surge.
Counter it.
Yep. Yeah, trade one of those off for the counter. This looks like lethal damage. Tom, are you sitting on a Solitude to answer this Lord? Is that even enough?
Beautiful. You can activate as well. Bring that up.
And remember, on top of all of this, there is a Chalice on 2 affecting this game, which could be just the card in Tom Holland's hand. Could just be 2s rotting like Stone Forges and Pure Steels.
Indeed. Merfolk player about to move to combat here. Gonna start crashing in. Dockhand, Tokens, Pheloon, Trickster, Mutavault.
So Sphaloon is the most damage we can absorb, right? Because that's the only 3 that's attacking us.
It's
1, 2, 3, 4.
naturally a 2. Oh,
3,
shoot.
6, 7, 8, 9. This looks like 10 damage if I block Sphaloon.
Mm-hmm. We've moved past our pilgrimage trigger as well. We'll note that. So
Block the
should have a
Sphaloon.
merfolk
Take
there.
10.
Both players counting it out here. I see a Stoneforge, one of the cards in his hand. Where else is it?
Are we picking
What else
cards
you got
up?
there, sir? You're very tapped out.
The merfolk player's leaving. I think Tom has begun sideboarding again.
Oh, okay. He's just left.
Yep. All right, our merfolk player has taken that game down, but that was their first victory of this match. We have a game 3 that we're going to bring to you in its full entirety. Hammer player on the play against our newfound merfolk friend here at their second time in the feature match.
Another fishy friend. Welcome to the fold. We're glad to have you.
I thought you were going to say welcome to the folk, which is what I like.
Welcome to the folk, sure.
Yeah, because I like calling merfolk the folk. You know, the folks at home. The merfolk.
I love it. Yeah, we'll go to a game 3 here in round 3 of week 2 of our modern league here. For those not aware, we're hosting a 12-week league for our modern players. At the end of the league, top 8 players with the most points will receive a percentage of the prize pool collected throughout the 12 weeks.
Yeah, give them the slide. Let's check it out.
Let's look at that.
Real quick.
Every Wednesday at 6:30, January 10th through April 10th. We plan to do more of these too. So if you come into it too late and are worried about falling behind, want to join in after, spring break or something like that, we'll be doing more of these too. You can hop right in as well. Week 2 is not at all too late to join into the fray. So we'd love to have you. We're in Buffalo Grove, Illinois. Come on out. We'd love to have you.
This slide is also where I learned that Murkhead region has a blue belly.
It's got a little blue belly.
Didn't know that. I play the sketch one. Never seen colors on this card before. So they knew this is the big blue dragon, ready to do big blue dragon things.
If you had to create a slide for a modern league and had to pick an iconic card from modern, which card would you pick?
Currently?
Yeah.
All right, so
we could do it like through the years too, but yeah, currently.
Currently, because it is a thing that I do pretty often.
Yeah.
Currently, it's lightning bolt.
Okay.
That's
a classic in a lot of
lightning
formats.
bolt's a great use. If you're talking modern, probably like Bowmaster, Charlotte's Agent.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Lord of Atlantis, easy.
Oh yeah, sorry, my
classic.
bad. Lord of Atlantis. Tashana's Tidebinder.
Tashana's Tidebinder, honestly,
and she's
really
doing
good.
kind of the present in the original art.
I like Shouldred with the arms out.
Yeah, Shieldred looks good.
Yeah.
Shieldred makes a really good graphic.
All right, we're in game 3 here as well.
My go-to move is whatever card seeing play out of the newest set, too. That's always like a good move, right?
Yeah. Most eye-catching one there. We got a couple cards down the field already. Turn 1, Giver. Turn 2, Pure Steel.
And also, Josh starting on Mutavault, not Island.
Interesting. All right, maybe we can animate. Do you want to animate this Mutavault and trade?
Get him.
No, we can't, because Giver's got protection. You can give it protection from colorless.
Oh, yeah, that would.
Can. So that's a thing there. Can't
Debating.
Give me that pilgrimage, baby. Let's do it.
Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one.
You can't cast
nope,
that
not
one.
that one. We'll be right back after a quick pop in on our feature match.
All good there.
Oh no, information.
Brace,
Oh no, information.
Brace,
oh no.
Brace.
Oh no,
catch
information.
Him.
Oh no. We got him.
All right, quick rewind there.
Josh, you want to switch out what lore do you have in play? There it is. Yep. I was like,
there you go.
The quickest, easiest fix is I'll swap out for this one, and then Tom could do this way, and the same thing will happen.
All right, sick. All right.
That's always the cleanest, is if like I can do something similar. My mistake, so if I can make it easy to clean up the board state, I'll usually do so.
Totally, yeah. Crashing for a little bit of damage there. 20 to 18 will be the life totals. We'll find a cavern.
Name Dragon.
Wizard.
Oh, probably
Probably Merfolk.
Oh,
I would say. I
Merfolk.
would say
Great
probably
choice.
Merfolk.
Yeah, I get it. I guess you could name Merfolk. It's one of my favorite parts playing Cavern in the domain deck and standard. It's like it's an actual choice. Like sometimes I name Dinosaur, and sometimes I name Angel.
Yeah.
And both are incredible choices. As Svelun, the god of sea and sky.
Got a little Bordeaux art in the deck as well. Very nice.
One of the first time they started introducing like the gods that like don't have devotion. Like this one's just this is just the Merfolk god. She's been referenced on like so many Merfolk flavor texts. They love using the Modern Horizons to give you those characters, give you that flavor, give a little boost to the folks. Sure they did.
Absolutely. Hammer player will play Stoneforge Mystic. Grab a Cauldra.
Hey, does MH2 have 3 cards for the Merfolk deck in it?
It's got Svelun. It's got
Rishadan,
Dockhand.
and the Tide Shaper,
and
right?
Tide Shaper.
They're like, here's 12 cards for Merfolk.
It's got Ragavan.
My favorite Merfolk. As we see Tom Holland here just amassing a board state of actual creatures. Not trinkets, not hammers, not sagas, not constructs. Guys.
I think they'll be there in a second. Usually you got to put the guys before the things the guys wear, or the girls. We got
of course.
These are battle bays, let's be real. That's why I picked up the deck.
We have the Skyclave apparition, not a like typical choice I seed, but I'm a big Banisher Priest Fiend Hunter fan, so I believe you're a fan. Maybe?
I love Skyclave apparition. I played the heck out of that card in
Coco
Pioneer.
for removal spell.
I played 3 main board, man. That card's fire.
Oh,
it also enables my one of Nykthos. That's good devotion right there.
Friend in chat who says they'll put Ragavan and Merfolk, bet. Just do it. I recommend also putting Flame Venor and Bolt if you're going to splash red.
There you go. There you go. Get some good stuff there. Honorary Merfolk Ragavan, honorary Wizard Sheoldred. There's all sorts
Everyone knows the rules.
Yeah. All sorts of titles being handed out tonight.
They're sailing on blocking duty.
Sailing on blocking?
Because these creatures aren't big yet.
They're not big, but you can...
Uh-oh.
That's big.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Culture's here.
I love you can see George and Marty hanging out in the background there.
Tiebinder. Counter the... Is Living Weapon a trigger?
Living Weapon
Can you counter Make a Germ? The equip is beautiful. Magic rules. We counter the Pure Steel trigger, it looks like.
We're countering the Pure Steel.
Oh, nope.
What are we
Drew the
countering?
card.
So the Tiebinder came out, but Tom is still doing all of his stuff.
Yep.
So I'm not sure what was the counter. Okay. We're going to combat here.
Hammer in hand.
Germ smacking. I don't know if Skyclave is stock in Hammer.
No, I haven't seen this one before, but it's a cool, fun choice. Which we've seen Tom Holland play some choices in their Hammer deck. We saw the White Echoing card that I had never seen before that they were playing like 4 of for a little while.
Oh. I think it still happened because he gave something protection with Giver, but you can't protect the trigger on the stack.
Yep, that's correct. Those are things you cannot to do.
Okay. Should we go? We should go.
Yeah, can we check on one of those Tiebinder? This is incredible. There's a lot happening.
There's a lot. I think we might be past a rewind. We are just going to let them know about what's happened, though.
We're just checking. We're checking real quick. Magic is so hard.
Yes. Yes, thank you, chat. Appreciate y'all.
Countered. Looks like we countered. Put the Stoneforge in.
It targets the trigger.
Correct.
Yeah, it doesn't target the card. So their fix is not.
Yep, we're checking in. Looks like we protected the creature, but we're not protecting the trigger.
It's interesting. Marty and George didn't check it at all.
They don't know how hammer cards work.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, chat caught it for us too. So.
Yeah. The hard part is I can't hear them.
Yeah.
So I lose so much information on what's going where and what's targeting who.
All right. Have we rewound a bit?
Yep. Looks like that Cauldron got picked up here.
Full rewind.
Yep,
okay.
because the Cauldron never went to combat. The Cauldron's in hand. Damage has been restored. I'm gonna say it once, I'll say it again. This is a hard game. And Tidebinder is such an
Has
unintuitive
Tidebinder
card.
been like the culprit for all these things?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's the new card too.
Yeah.
And it's new and powerful and so specific.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Introduces
so
some
difficult.
niche bits of knowledge that you need to have when knowing
And
interactions.
it's so enticing. I want to Tidebinder people so
I want to
badly.
Tidebinder every single thing on the board, baby.
I want to Stone Rain you. I want to stop your saga. Like I want to Tidebinder you so badly.
So this Tidebinder is on one of these Stoneforge Mystics. Since it's a creature, it will not regain that ability. It permanently loses it until Tidebinder leaves the field. It doesn't have to die, so it could get skyclaved or anything like that.
Yep, absolutely.
Just leave the battlefield.
Yeah, it just lingers. You have to let it linger. Only if it's a creature, artifact, or planeswalker.
Yeah.
So Stoneforge specifically here being a creature does let that Tidebinder effect linger.
You can Tidebinder equip things as well, so you can just have bits of rock sort of.
Right, you can make the hammer just sit there.
Yeah.
You could even counter Pure Steel's draw trigger to turn off the giving equip stuff. Like, there's so many cool ways that the card interacts.
So many triggered abilities on Hammer's side of the field. Lots of things for Tidebinder to snack on. Sigarda's Aid coming out from Tom's hand here. No interaction for Josh. He does have another Tidebinder, though, and plenty of mana to cast it with.
Looks like we're about to counter that.
Activate Stoneforge.
Hey, you're going to do it
in response.
Hey, remember this? Remember this from last time? See, the hard part is Tom specifically shouldn't be revealing the card until Stoneforge's resolution.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that it's a Cauldra, but that's a big piece to understand once you're playing against Tidebinder style strats, is you don't have to give away the information about playing quickly. Make sure that your effects are resolving and so forth before giving that away.
All right, in response, after that Tidebinder has come down, he's going to attack. We do have Sigarda's Aid.
This Stoneforge has to do something now.
Yeah, it's on attacks. We can block with different stuff here.
Yeah.
I smell a hammer.
It smells that way, absolutely.
I don't know what a hammer would smell like, but I smell one coming.
Metal, rust, disappointment from my dad.
Oh, no. Oh, goodness.
As the bonk, we're going to draw a card. We're going to auto-equip this hammer. Big boy.
Big bonk. It was blocked by one of the Tidebinders. It was not blocked at all.
Big damage.
Yeah, big damage. We'll go 15-6 here in game 3 of round 3.
You were right that it smelled like a hammer. We could have double blocked, but we chose instead to take a big 12. Ugh. And now we have these Mutavaults. I'm throwing Mutavaults in front of this card for like turns upon turns now.
Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3 blockers. Hey, thanks for the raid if you're just joining us. Welcome in. We're having a great time here playing some Modern. If you'd like, hit a follow. We're live every Wednesday at 6:30 with fantastic Modern coverage of our Modern League. We're also live on Thursdays for our Pokémon locals as well. We have a challenge at the end of every month. High-tier players commentating there. Dan Hugar, if you heard of him. Really great guy, too. Big fan. Got some
big
good
bonk versus big folk. These merfolk putting the squeeze on, but our hammer player here doing what hammer does best, which is giving one of the battle babes a big hammer and going for the bonk.
Let her wreck.
All right, just hit, took Josh all the way down from 18 down to 6. Now Joshua trying to figure out how to piece their turn back together or be taken down by whatever Tom Holland has left over. 4 cards in hand, 5 after the draw step. A lot to deal with for all the tricksy tricks from hammer.
I see a Lord in his hand, which would give Island Walk. However, there are no islands on Tom's side of the field. A Tide Shaper could change that, which is another card in his hand.
I think we might be doing the math if we have a kill.
Yeah. We can animate one of the Mutavaults with itself. We need all 3 blue mana available to cast all these cards. Oh. Are we in turns? All right.
It's okay. I don't know if they'll need many more turns here.
No. Okay.
No, I like this. We need to get this
Tide Shaper
out.
Kicking that. Turn that into an island.
All my creatures don't have Island Walk yet.
Not yet.
Is there a way? Oh, this lord in my hand.
Whatever will I do? Which one do we pick?
Yeah, white border. Oh, new school. All right. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's 14 damage, not 15.
It's so close.
Homie, what?
Why'd you animate them? Oh,
We can't. We only would
okay,
have the
okay,
one
okay.
to toy with. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No,
14,
it's 14 again.
And he's at 6. You can't.
Yep.
You can't attack with everything.
Right.
You can put him real close.
So Sphaloon's not getting in because this is an indestructible blocker right now. And the only card I think in all of Tom's deck we have to worry about is Shadow Spear. We cannot let
I was
cards get
I was
trampled.
literally about to say the only thing Tom needs is trample.
We're down 2 Stoneforges, so our draws are Stoneforge, or Shadow Spear proper. Oh, but we have a giver. We can give the creature Pro Blue.
And just.
Big bonk coming.
Oh, we're just dead.
We're dead.
Oh, we're very dead.
We're gonna give them some runes. We don't need trample if it can't be blocked.
Josh was 1 point away from winning. Oh my gosh. And he's got the Stoneforge too. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. We can fetch it out, grab the Shadow Spear, trample over, win the game, the match. We're in turn 1 here. That's what the die is for, by the way.
Tom making sure to kill deliberately, right? It feels like you just want to go give protection attack if it's a Shadow Spear, but if there's somewhere in there they can interact, you want to make sure that you don't suddenly throw the game in the dumpster.
Play around stuff here for sure. All right, Shadow Spear to hand. We'll cast that out. Pure Steel allows us to equip. No, it doesn't. We only have 2. Sigarda's Aid. What am I talking about? Hello. Okay. You got to draw as well.
Put on that Paladin. Draw that card. Attack for 13 unblockable trample lifelink.
Shamak.
Yeah, hit him with the Shamak. 1 point of damage away.
It
would haunt me, right? Is there somewhere that we could have scraped in for those points? And that was Big Nux, right? Was that the game?
That's the game. Yeah.
Hammer with the Pro Blue Giver of Runes taking it down.
All right, that'll wrap up round 3 coverage. That was our very last match. We'll get right back to the action after a very short break. We're going to pick our final match of the night, and we'll be right back. See you soon.
See you soon.
Welcome back, folks. We're in our final round of Wednesday Night Modern. We got 2 heavy hitters for you. Adam v. Eric. Burn v. Hammer. Who will take it down?
Burn v. Bonk.
Burn v. Bonk. Vern versus Burn versus Bonk.
Burn bonk. Burn the bonk. Anyways, Adam, looks like freshly sleeved, these new greens. I've seen what Adam's rocking. That's a big green.
What happened to the camp sleeves? What was it, the B?
They get nasty.
Yeah.
Sleeve gets nasty.
Gotta switch it up every once in a while.
You put your dirty mitts on it 4 rounds a week, they gonna get dirty.
I'm gonna tell him you called his mitts dirty.
That's fair. Sorry, teammate Adam. Sorry, friend Eric. Well, I didn't insult Eric's mitts. I should, though.
Just to keep it even here.
Yeah, I bet they could hold a hammer.
All right, let's see how fast this round 4 will go. We'll get y'all home early.
Right, we made the joke like, oh, yeah, early round. They're going to time now.
No, I don't think there's any world in which they could possibly go to time.
Well, Adam will do what Adam does, which is draw 5 lands in a deck that wants to draw 2.
Right.
And we'll use those to kill every creature Eric puts in play for the whole game. Or
we get a Shadow Spear and we win.
Right. Shadow Spear is the key to victory for Eric, and Adam's key to victory is being on the play. So we'll have to see where these line up.
Both going down to 6 here. A little bit worse for Adam than it is for Eric, I'd say.
This
Little
is
side chatter. Little side chatter from the O2
Adam. This hand looks
drops.
beautiful. Hey, have you had Eidolon the Great Revel against Hammer?
Ooh. Is that a Boros charm he's tucking?
I don't know. Boros Charm's in hand for sure. May have been the
Okay.
second charm. But we've got Land Charm, Swift Spear, Searing Blaze, Eidolon.
That's a good
Oh,
hand
and
if I've
Adam looks
ever
like he's on
seen
the
one.
play. Adam is motioning like he's on the play.
All right, let's get it started here. In this matchup, a wizard summons a hammer and runs toward a wizard throwing lightning bolts. This should be part of the Netflix series that is never coming out.
But the hammer is huge.
Oh,
the
yeah.
hammer is so big.
It's like, what's Cloud's sword? The really big sword?
I was gonna call it the Buster Blader.
The
That's the name of the
Buster
Yu-Gi-Oh.
sword.
That's
Yeah.
the name of the Yu-Gi-Oh card that I love.
It's
is
like the
Blader.
Buster sword, but it's a hammer. It's just like that freaking big.
Adam getting to do what the burn deck loves to do against other creature decks, which is use Searing Blaze to kill the creature, still go upstairs, trigger prowess, and get 5 full points of damage in on Eric.
Yeah, damage total is going to be changing mighty fast here. Down to 14 already on Eric's side of the field.
Yeah, we gotta keep up.
Oh boy, play that shock land.
This bolt land?
The
yeah.
bolt land, excuse me.
Eric's looking at this bolt planes going, uh-oh.
That's a rough land to have in hand. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. And I think Eric is realizing that real quick. Eric, an NRG local, not a modern local, may not know of the wizard that is Adam.
Mm-hmm. Adam plays some Legacy too. I think.
Yeah,
I
but
think
not Burn. He's playing like Delver in Legacy.
Yeah. A little bit different than his Legacy deck for sure. Oh,
Tap that bolt land. It comes in tap. Play Sigardizade.
Sigardizade. I think this is fine.
Yeah, Adam thinks it's fine. Drew play with fire. Adam loves to play with fire. This is such a good time to slam this Eidolon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we can hold up the play with fire for whatever creature may come in to deal damage to us and play out this Eidolon. Yes, Adam Weiss.
Go back to Eric's turn here. He's got a Surge of Salvation, which should save him a bit of damage. Another Sigardizade off the top. Not very helpful.
These are not it, Chief. These are not
We got
it.
a Giver of Runes. We have a hammer in hand.
This saga means that a Shadow Spear is 2 turns away, and I don't think Adam's looking to play 2 more turns.
I don't think so. We're down to 8 points of life on Eric's side of the field. Yeah, get the saga out now. Good call. It might not be relevant, but if it is, it very much is. So we'll get that out now. Play the Giver.
I gotta
think
be
you paid
honest.
the Giver. That's 2 damage.
You could put any of these cards in play. I don't think it matters. Down to 11.
Down to 11. Excuse me. I misread. There a little bit of glare. Apologies.
Yeah, we're gonna fetch. We might play with fire upstairs to get a scry on. Put you down to 9. Boros Charm puts you down to 5. We're getting close. Or we might play with fire this Giver, because that means we can get through for more damage, because they'll be at 11. We can Boros Charm upstairs, trigger Swift Spear, get in for 8, put Eric to 3, and that's the magic number for drawing burn spells. So I talked myself into that play.
All right, let's do that. We'll give Adam the energy for that line. Eric, not so much he can do. Just about.
Uh-oh.
Just gonna sit here and see if he's dead. Another Eidolon.
Whoa.
Is interesting, but not super important here.
Because we have exactly 3 mana, so we still have to play with fire plus Boros Charm available to us.
Adam disagrees. Is gonna play this second Eidolon out.
He's just gonna make it incredibly difficult for Eric to cast a spell.
Yeah, you can't cast anything.
I will sit here and you will cast nothing.
Can you surge and then not take damage? Well, you could take damage from casting the surge. Oh my god. We're gonna play the hammer.
Yeah,
flash in
speed.
the hammer.
Take 2 in response before there's 2 Eidolons in play.
That makes sense.
And I think Adam is still okay because we have to play with fire. So if something becomes a problem, we'll just kill the problem.
Why is the hammer on the Eidolon?
This is the stack. The Eidolon's on the stack. The hammer's on the stack.
Oh, I see. Just representing.
Yeah, because Eric may still want to respond before this Eidolon's in play. are these beautiful purple sleeves. Shout out to Cool Colors.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, everyone, shout out
Shout out to my favorite planes that Eric is rocking. That's my absolute favorite planes in all of Magic, I would say.
Wow, all of Magic.
That's a great looking planes right there.
Play with
10
fire
out of
this
10.
giver. I wish we did this last turn, but play with fire that giver.
Trigger.
Into this Thurge.
Triggers all abound.
Yeah, Eric down to 7 with an Eidolon on the stack and a Boros Charm in Adam's hand.
Oh boy. Equip to the giver.
Slam Eidolon. This Monastery Swift Spear is on blocking duty now.
Mm-hmm. Do you swing?
No. This thing's huge. And I'm not risking this
You
Eidolon.
get through. That's fair. That's very fair. Yeah.
Because, right, we need to give them the 2 things to guarantee one of them deals points of damage. And the one that dies would be Eidolon. That's for a single point to get through.
Right. No, we've had a couple prowess triggers. One prowess trigger.
Dang, you're right. I would still... Yeah.
Yeah!
I would still eat this Eidolon, but the prowess triggers change the math. Because we have 1.
He blocked the prowess. He blocked the Swift Spear. He left the second Eidolon. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
What?
We just gonna kill?
Just make a blocker?
Oh.
You just have a block. Oh my
Oh,
God.
Adam's gonna wait this entire game until Eric casts a spell, and we're gonna fire off Boros Charm and win the game. Eric will die with his spell on the stack.
You don't have to cast another spell, though. You can make a construct, have blockers enough so you don't take any damage there. Next turn, grab a Shadow Spear, swing ski-doodles.
This is so intriguing.
These games are over fast, but there's a lot to decide in each of these turns here.
And Eric would have dedicated all their mana to making this construct.
Do we have a better angle of Adam, by the way? Just so we can get him in frame a bit?
I only want to see Adam's ear. I don't know what you're after here.
He's chatting up a storm. I'm so curious.
Yeah, dang. These players are being too friendly. Can we tone this down out there?
See some hardcore spell slinging.
Oh, yeah. Look at him.
There he is. Talking it out. Figuring out what to do. 2 Eidolons. We can attack. Both
I don't
of the
recommend
Eidolons,
that.
We could.
Both
It's not a
get
good
eaten.
idea.
The
They both
construct
get
and the
eaten.
giver, yeah.
Correct. We have a Boros Charm in hand. That's only 4 damage.
Oh,
Shows
face
its full
up.
thing. Knows that
Because the
Eric.
Saga goes and gets Shadow Spear, and the game's just over. We're never going to be able to put enough damage together.
Yeah. Hammer off the top as well. Doesn't matter there. Can't cast it. Yeah, he needed play with fire to go upstairs. He needed anything.
Yeah.
He needed 2 burn spells. Couldn't quite get there.
Or
Had the best burn spell too. Had a 4 damage spell and was still short just a point of damage there. Game 1 will go to Eric there. Let's take a look at sideboards here.
stock.
This is Adam's full 75. Let's take a look at this sideboard. Searing Blood, Exquisite Firecraft, Wear Tear, and Roiling Vortex.
Wear Tear.
4 cards. Only 4 cards here to choose from. Wear Tears are the best ones, I'd say.
And I guess possibly Searing Blood, if this is our deck. These basically act as more Searing Blazes as long as the creature is not hammered up. So the question might be if we feel this is better than something, than maybe our Goblin Guides or whatever, just to have more cards that can pull double duty, but they're so risky because if we're looking at target a creature that's hammered up, then it might be too late. That's kind of the case for all of our burn spells. So I imagine
we're on the draw as well.
Yeah, I might be.
Or no, we're on the play. Excuse me, we lost. So
I'm looking at these 1-drops, basically doing the math of how many I want to post board. I know I want 3 Wear Tears and maybe some number of Searing Bloods, and the question might more likely be not what cards do you want, but maybe what cards you don't want. You could even look at Roiling Vortexes. They shut down Shadow Spear and turn off the well, what do you call it? Like all of the zeros, right? Playing any of the stuff that could possibly be free.
There aren't Play with Fires in this list. Adam goes back and forth.
This is stock. That's the issue.
Oh, this is stock? You didn't submit a list?
Yeah, we'll have to yell later.
We cleaned up at the beginning of the league, so I think he forgot that he's got to resubmit. That's all good.
That's all as well. We take a
All
little
right.
peek at maybe some possible Hammer Time
This
action.
is stock as well from MTG Goldfish. We got Drannith Magistrate, Strict Proctor, March of Otherworldly Light, Hallowed Moon Knight, Chalice of the Void, and a full 4 Crystrum.
So the hard part is most people aren't planning for burn.
Mm-hmm.
And none of these cards really have text. People have tried Chalice of the Void, and it has only been a mere speed bump on Adam's path to victory.
We have 1 mana spells. We have 2 mana spells. We even have
3 mana
spells that we can kill you with.
You're welcome to try, but I imagine the sideboard is not very well set up, and the plan is go fast.
There's also an Eidolon that can come down before you put it on 2 even. So that's super relevant there.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get down to the action, though, as we shuffle up for Game 2 in our final match of the night. I'll remind y'all to hit that follow button, and if you're feeling generous, hit the subscribe button. If you have Amazon Prime, you might have a Twitch Prime sub for free, and we'd really appreciate it. We appreciate you being here already. We hope you're enjoying the content. Let us know if there's anything that we can fix, or let us know in the chat what you enjoy.
Oh, speaking of which, I want to move the phone real quick so we can keep up with them.
Oh, totally. Yeah, we'll get that out of the glare spot there. Players shuffling up here. Adam's got some good cards. He got a... Was that an engineered explosive in his starting hand? And we'll see on Eric's side of the field here in his potential starting hand. Springleaf Drum, Urza Saga, Stoneforge Mystic. Strong stuff there. Can't quite see the other stuff. Looks like both players keeping. Let's see Devin staring straight into the camera. Jamming some legacy afterwards. That's what happens. All the flex up boys just come to jam legacy in between rounds.
This is all true. Well, except some of them, because some of them get draws.
Right.
Hammer going down to 6. I would say a deck that mulligans very well. Possibly a sign of strength of just being like understanding what needs to be done, because not a lot of turns are going to be played in the game, which means how important your opening hand is going to be.
On the opposite end, Burn wants as many spells in their hand as possible.
Yeah, they'll take a 7, absolutely.
Yeah, totally. All right, shuffling up. Have you ever played Burn yourself, Dom?
Oh yeah, I own a Burn deck.
Yeah?
Bought full hog 75 from possibly someone who's still in chat. Not sure who's hanging out, but I just literally bought the whole thing straight up during Modern RCQ season for when you wake up in the morning and go, today's the day. And it helps to have Adam as a teammate, so it's like much easier to know. It's like, oh, this is like what true Burn looks like versus just kind of the it's like 6 in the morning, Burn. I want to play Burn sort of feeling.
For sure. Eric taking another mulligan here, going down to 5.
And it always correlates to me that Adam plays Burn and is a math teacher. Because he's always doing the math, which is the part that sometimes gets me with
I don't think he's a math teacher. I thought, wasn't he like a social studies teacher?
Nope.
He's a math teacher?
Yep.
Really?
Burn Boy teach math.
Interesting. Huh.
Math all day, math top to bottom.
I guess that makes sense then, yeah, why he's so good at Burn.
Yep.
There's some math in that deck.
There's some math in that. There's a snake in my boot, and there's some math in that deck.
Do you think Adam is just like really into teaching like the 3 times table?
Hey, this is 1 bolt, 2 bolt, 3 bolt, 4.
5 bolt, 6 bolt, 7 bolt, more.
I mean, Adam is straight up like talking to me like the stats of doing all of this, so
yeah,
I fully believe it.
All right, we're keeping 5. I see Plains, Hammer, Springleaf.
And I know this isn't true, but I still feel it. If I'm Eric, I'm up a game. I'm mulling to 5. I'm kind of already thinking, I got a buffer. I'll be okay with this game.
All right, Adam starts us off.
And maybe Adam will use his good draw up this game. And I'll get him in game 3. But the issue is game 3 could also have a good draw.
Yeah, get these cards out early before that Eidolon comes down. We'll see a Sigardazade on Eric's side of the field for turn 1.
And like we said, the deck list we showed for Adam, stock. This is Adam's toy. He's using this engineered explosive as a card that just removes a lot of problems, and is really good against Hammer.
Is good against Hammer. Is good against Yogg, which we see a bunch of in the room. So a couple.
It's good against rhinos, right? You just need a little breathing space.
Yeah, explosives and engineering explosives pretty good here. We'll see a play with fire go upstairs before this Esper Sentinel comes down. Go to 16 to 15.
Right. Miss land drop.
Oh no.
Miss land drop. I felt it coming. I felt it coming. There it was.
It was the spring leaf drum is the second mana. Do you pay the 1?
I don't know. It's so hard because they're short on land.
You gotta pay the 1, right? Because Eric's short.
Eric's short on mana.
Eric's short on mana. I'm much smaller than Eric.
You must only pay if you're short.
I'm sorry I called you short.
If your opponent's short, you must pay. These are the rules.
That's not a land.
Okay, see, this is what I said. Eric's like, well, I'll just make Adam use up his good draw. I'll use up this bad one. I'll see you in game 3 when I'm on the play. So I love winning game 1s. Oh, no. Adam, why are you checking your sideboard right now? What did we do?
Did you fuck up his sideboard? Excuse me.
We're running the math, I think.
All right. Counting.
Yep. Spend this Rift Bolt. Interesting. We have Play with Fire Bolt in hand. Eric found this land. It's far too late, though. We can use this Shadow Spear.
Batterskull. Get the Batterskull. Is there a Batterskull on your sideboard?
I wish. I miss Batterskull.
Yeah. Some Hammer players see it. I think we've seen it on some stock lists we've pulled up for examples.
Yeah. I've seen it in Black-White Scam. They use Cauldron and Batterskull.
Ooh. Do we just get the Shadow Spear?
Okay, Adam has 3, 6, 7, 8 points of burn.
Engineered explosives on 1.
Right, so we have an answer to Hammer available, 2 Shadow Spear available as well, and the ZE on 1. But that does require forcing Adam to hold up 2 lands, and that's a million to the burn player.
Eric's still looking here.
Yeah, it's hard to find your one of.
That's why you whiteboarded them.
There's that Shadow Sphere. And possibly a card that we might kind of hold in our hand.
Play with Fire will go at that Mystic, I assume.
Adam's still making this decision because really, really beneficial to try to get that Scry. Because if Boros Charm is in these top 2 cards, that's the game.
Ooh, get that land out of here. Go to Adam's turn here, Rift Bolt.
Rift Bolt off suspend, which the hard part, got to decide before we draw. So we have no additional information.
If you didn't want to send the Play with Fire, I guess the Play with Fire also is the Scry.
Yeah, the Scry really affects the choices.
If you didn't want to send 2 at the Mystic, I wouldn't want to send 3.
Yeah, upstairs, that's 7. Or putting you down to 7. Yep. Resolution? Oh.
We have a Spring Leaf Drum and a Surge.
Yeah, Eric might be debating to do it now to kind of save themselves from the most Border Life loss.
I feel like you should. I feel like you should.
Another engineered explosive.
Just bolt proper in Adam's hand there. We have a Horizon Land we could also pop. Don't know. Feels more like an end step on Eric's turn kind of play. 7 life here. 7 versus 6, very, very different in a burn game.
Yes, right. That is the difference between a lot of your cards being outs and very few of your cards being out.
This Don't Forge Mystic, still threatening. This EE takes mana to blow up. Also relevant to note as well. We're going to cast another EE on 1. What? Won't that... It won't blow itself up.
Nope, because it's a 0.
Okay. End step, put out the hammer.
Uh-oh.
Cigar to Zaid. Bolt. You gotta bolt the Mystic. Oh, but the ink moth.
We're gonna eat up everything.
Oh, but the ink moth.
Yeah. The ink moth isn't really equipable right now.
It's not, but Adam doesn't know that.
What I'm saying is the hammer has to do it there because there's no way to like maneuver it well to get it onto the ink moth here. Because the second we blow this up, all the ones are going away. The aid, the spring leaf, the Colossus hammer. And the second EE on one is to shore up the Shadow Spear later.
Right.
Because Adam still has the outs of drawing Boros Charm at any point in this game. So taking on a controlling posture here.
Still have this Surge as well. Giver is great.
Yeah, Eric's been able to use this Surge as basically their counterspell, and Adam won't be ready.
Ooh. Burn spell. Ooh, burn spell.
Yes.
Ooh, if you crack the... No, never mind.
Yeah, burn spell that needs land drop.
Crack Horizon Land, rip second land off the top.
Get it all countered by Surge.
You need mana up for the engineer explosives. Yeah, full pass. Full pass is
Yeah,
gotta be the play.
Adam's feeling the writing.
The other EE does not die.
Nope, because the first one blew up and destroyed all 1 mana permanents. EE is a 0 mana permanent.
With a counter on it.
With a counter on it. All is well, all is well.
These players, well, we've had a couple missteps here tonight. These players play pretty tight. But we appreciate the question as well.
That's how we all learn. Shadow Spear coming on in. Giver wearing the spear.
Oh no.
Stoneforge wearing it. Because it's hard to give it to the giver because the giver gets caught up in the EE.
Go to combat, swing for 2, blow it up, give Stoneforge.
That's a joke. Haha. Doesn't do anything. You can see the smile in Eric's eyes.
Give it protection from colorless.
Die anyways.
Shadow Spear falls off.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That is true.
What did Adam draw?
It's just so hard.
What did he draw?
Because Eric's card in hand is so good right now. He drew the charm. He drew the charm. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's Lightning Alex. Yep, Eric was waiting this whole time to do it here.
All right, good rip. Oh, that's a slow rip.
And Adam still has Bolt proper in hand, so if something becomes a problem, we have an answer. And now we have 6 points of damage in hand.
Yeah, and you could be getting in with Ink Moth damage. I don't think you...
Suspend Rift Bolt, hold a Bolt. All right, Death on the horizon. Was that a Surge? Or was that a hammer?
I didn't see. Oh, it's a hammer.
Oh, it was a hammer.
Oh, it's a hammer.
It doesn't do anything, but it is a hammer.
It's not.
You're dead. You're donezo. Game over. Take your ball and go home. By that I mean go to game 3. Yep. Beautifully navigated game. Both sides just inches. This game was decided by inches. Bop. Kill your Stoneforge. Kill you.
Yep. Just 1 point of damage from the Searing Blaze because there's no landfall.
Yeah, we just got 1 free point in, but this Rift Bolt upstairs and sack this. Whoa. We still have this bolt.
Yeah.
Send it.
Yeah.
We're going to play patient. We're going to let our opponent draw a Surge. Come on, don't let him draw a Surge.
Oh my gosh.
Because this Saga's about to pop. You drew Wear Tear. You drew Wear Tear. Adam.
Oh my gosh.
Adam's running the numbers on do I die to the single card in your hand? We know the answer is no, but Adam doesn't know that.
Adam doesn't know. As a Magic player, you gotta run through all the possibilities. Do the hangover meme, all the numbers flashing through your brain.
White woman doing math. Now is the time.
Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah, I was thinking of Zach Galifianakis doing the math.
And oh yeah, thanks Eric. I really appreciate this mathy moment. Yeah, just send it. Yeah, just send it. Take the sigh relief. Let's go to game number 3. Find out who's the king of the castle this week.
A bit of like a YOLO move.
Yeah, sometimes when it's almost 10 o'clock at night and you're playing your burn deck, it's A-okay.
Let's go to a game 3 here. Final match of the night. Players shuffling up. We'll get right back into the action here.
Eric, by winning game number 1, gives themselves this prime opportunity to do the best in game number 3 because they're going to be on the play, and they fought that hard on their Mold to 5 that game.
Absolutely. Eric, if you don't know, was one of the competitors in our championship event that happened just a couple of weeks ago. If you want to play in the championship event next year, why don't you come on down in February to our event, the 17th and 18th. We'll be in Elmhurst, Illinois. Pioneer and Standard the week before the Pro Tour. You can qualify on either Saturday or Sunday.
Double showdown.
Double showdown weekend. We have changed our structure. We're increasing the prize pool, increasing the number of players that qualify for a championship event, and you can be one of them.
Yeah, Champs is up to 24 now, right? Over
it's
16?
24 players from 16. $35,000 in the prize pool, I believe.
Let's get 8 more people in there.
Of course, an invite to the Pro Tour.
Of course.
Of course, and free entry to all of our events next year if you're MVP.
That part is really tasty.
Dykeman eating good this year.
Yeah, Dykeman gonna eat good this year.
Come on down. February 17th and 18th. You can sign up on Melee right now.
Right now.
Do it.
Right now.
I'll be there.
You will be there.
I'm looking forward to seeing you. Come say hi at the sales booth. I'll sell you some magic cards. Bring your art cards. I want them. It's been a bit.
It's been a while.
I think I've taken most of the NRG Circuits players' art cards. I ask for them every event, and I get some every event, and I think they're starting to run dry.
I believe Murders at Karlov Manor will come out like a week before the NRG as well. A lot of new stuff going around.
A week before, yes. We'll have all the hot cards there. Of course, we have event pickups so you can order cards to be ready for you when you arrive. I thought you were going to say that Karlov cuts down on the availability of art cards.
No, it does. It does, but there will be more.
I'm very upset about it.
They're just going to be in the token slot of play boosters.
They're already so hard to find. At least like more of the. Well, no, we're already opening so many more set boosters.
Yeah, enjoy your treasure hunt.
It's so great. I have so many binders now. Did you see my thread of all the champs players that signed their art cards?
I did.
Eric picked Wasteland.
Of course.
Which makes sense.
Beautiful choice, Eric. Beautiful choice.
Great meme. A lot of people wanted Thalia, and it got taken last year, and a lot of people were very upset.
Dang.
All right, game 3 here. Turn 1 play from Eric will be Giver. Adam.
Giver, more like kill her with your burn spell. Am I right, Keemers?
Can I get a hell yeah, gamer?
And your explosives on 1.
Ooh.
It's just big cleanup tool we have in this match. And Eric with that bolt land in hand. Be careful.
Do we grab the Shadow Spear? Oh, hammer to the front. Ooh, Cauldron to the front.
Ooh, Ornithopter.
Ooh, not grabbable.
All right, Shadow Spear.
Shadow Spear it is, yeah.
Just taking a peek at their hammers, just seeing that they're there and going right past them.
Just making sure we didn't side them out by accident.
Man, I'm just thinking about how many beautiful full art cards they have for hammer nowadays.
Oh my gosh, yes.
My hammer deck looks very different than this hammer deck.
Yeah, there was like a bonus sheet hammer.
Yep.
There was the Commander Masters, Pure Steel Paladin, and Steel Shapers gift.
Yep.
Do you still play Steel Shapers?
I got 1.
Okay.
There's a Secret Lair Giver of Ruins. There's the Double Master, Mythic Master, whatever, Stoneforge Mystic. There's the Lord of the Rings Shadow Spear. There's the Sketch Urza Saga. There is a
schematic Ornithopter.
Yep. There is an A+. I like the thought of possibly playing Thraben Inspector over Esper Sentinel. You can use the RCQ promo for that.
Ooh, yeah, for sure, for sure. Eric gonna bolt himself.
Eric did it. I saw Eric did it.
Oh my gosh, we gotta talk about that.
I think it's because Adam's stuck on this single land here. Defining feature of this game with a pile of Play with Fires in hand. And I mean 3 of them.
That's good. That's really good.
Right into the glare. Send the hammer in there.
Gotta get rid of that spot. Smack
We
with
gotta
the
get rid of that
Stone
spot.
Forge. We got the glare shield up behind Eric there. It doesn't do much protection there.
That's true. Time to play with fire.
Not going upstairs for the scry. Gonna hit the giver instead. Oh, here comes the draw. It's a... Come on, Adam.
It's
Dramatic effect.
a...
It's a
Okay,
land. It's a
okay.
land.
Sunbaked Canyon, very important. Very good draw here. This allowing us to unlock mana, unlock cards, play our spells. It's unfortunately a little late for this Eidolon. All these spells already got played out.
There's not an art card for Plukernos. I know. I'm heartbroken too. A lot of good cards get art cards. Not all the good cards get art cards, though.
Yeah, not all dogs get art cards. Stoneforge.
Another Stoneforge.
We have the spear already, right?
We do. We'll grab a hammer there. Even though the EE is on 1, I feel like I'd like to see a Cauldron there.
I think we're just forcing Adam's hand. Like, every turn that isn't burn spells might be a positive exchange for us.
We have a Boros Charm in hand we could cast. I think we're seeing Play with Fires go a couple places. I think a Scry here is really powerful.
And what Eric can do is use this hammer to bait out the use of the EE, knowing we have our Shadow Spear as our follow-up. So we're like not risking it out there, but forcing Adam to feel incentivized to use it.
First burn spell will hit the Paladin so Eric doesn't get the draw.
Draw another land. Okay.
Another land.
Something's happening. Lava Spike. Not the card I expected in this very important moment, but Spike will do. Spike will do.
Slowly amassing the board here. There are 2 hammers on the field.
Oh, because now we Lava Spike, because our Skewer with Critics in our hand is now active on full spectacle mode. I don't think either of those are the correct terminology, but we didn't do so anyways and threw it on back.
Land for turn for Eric. Oh, excuse me. It wasn't a hammer. It was the spear. Apologies.
And now everything's here. Adam left up the 2 mana, and Eric's going to make them use it.
Still shuffling here on the resolution. We'll play out something. We got to get rid of this Shadow Spear. It's only a couple points of damage.
Clean up the spear, clear up this. But if Eric's playing Forge Anew, we might be able to get the Shadow Spear back.
He's definitely playing it. I don't know if he keeps it in.
I wonder if you do because of the importance of Shadow Spear.
That's a good point, yeah. It is a 3-mana spell against burn, but Shadow Spear is a 1-of, and it's so important for the matchup. Here's Eidolon. That's what killed Eric in game 1. Well, 2 of them, technically.
Yeah, they had to work together.
You can find deck list for tonight in our Discord. Join there. It's in our tweets about the stream. You can come in and scan the QR code. You can also, like, DM us on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and we can get you an invite link as well.
All right, check the VOD, too. Head on back, take a little scroll through, see a lot of what we saw here tonight.
I can drop an invite link in the chat, I think.
We can even put up the slide when the game's over.
There we go. That, too. All right. Life totals are even 12 all.
So it's 4 burn spells versus 1 hammer. Which is going to happen first? That's me doing a little bit of math for this match.
Good job, good job.
And they just rapidly changed.
All right.
As the Boros Charm went from hand to the graveyard. Adam down to 10 due to their own Eidolon, but Eric down to 8. Big rips.
Got Horizon Land that'll get cracked. Boros Charm.
Oh, we have 7 points of burn in hand.
Okay,
okay. How does this keep happening to players?
The closer Adam gets to killing someone, the faster his cards go.
He's literally trying to light them on fire.
All right,
I'm on to you, Adam. I know what you're trying to do.
It sped up when the Boros Charm hit his hand, and then it slowed down.
Yeah, that was Adam's tell.
Yeah. There we go. We got an invite link for you there, Mike.
This is just so important because if Eric casts a spell, Eric doesn't know it, but they could die because of it.
They could indeed die. Inkmoth will be the land for turn.
Old Inky could be important later.
hasn't had much relevance here yet. This hammer is sitting in hand. No Sigarda's aid to throw some spice into the mix.
Inkmoth Nexus has the secret layer tattoo. Pretty good choice for Inkmoth Nexus, I can't say.
Another pimped out version.
Yeah, that's how I was getting
Yeah.
Boros Charm upstairs. Eric with the Surge. Great response to the charm proper.
Still takes 2 damage off the cast of Surge from Eidolon, so down to 6. Very close to dead. Play with fire plus a Boros Charm. Did I just see that?
We have Play with Fire Skewer.
Oh, that's
we are
5.
one. We're one again.
Oh my god.
I think Adam might hear me. All right, I'm gonna tone it down. Okay. It's close. But the thing is Eric doesn't have him on the crackback yet.
No, he's got all these 1 power creatures. This Ornithopter's got nothing.
No.
We're not quite in hammer equipped territory, but we're creeping closer. That's 4 Stone Forge. Oh my god, he's got all 4 Stone Forges.
Oh wait, what if we play the new Stone Forge, go get Cauldra,
activate one of the other Stone Forges? Yeah.
Uh-oh. Wait, is that game? Play with fire. Okay.
He just passed? He passed without casting anything? Oh, because of the Eidolon?
Yeah, because of the Eidolon, because then you're dead to any burn spell. I think we would have lived. I think we would have won.
Play with fire?
Play with fire upstairs to gain
Pay the 1? Pay the 1?
But the thing is Adam...
Ask him! No!
And... Ding.
Skewer the critics. Draw. Oh my god, what if he drew the Surge?
Oh, well, we already passed the first spell per turn, right?
Oh, it's only the first one.
Yeah.
Also, you died to the Eidolon cast as well.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow. Down to the wire. Adam taking himself ever closer to death. If you had just swung with everything, Adam wouldn't have been able to cast that last spell.
I think if Eric Cauldred up, we could have taken the game down, but it's so hard to suspect that Adam's hand isn't instant speed in some way, shape, or form.
Wow, incredibly close game there. Adam will be your victor of week 2 of our Modern League. Congratulations, Sir Eric, with a fantastic showing as well. Before we head out tonight, I'd like to just thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you and your support of this channel. We're going to do a quick couple of ad reads before we head on out. We'd appreciate you sticking around for that. But for now, thanks for joining us. If you'd like to play some Magic in our store, we have plenty of opportunities to do that. We have Commander, Modern, Legacy, and Standard. If you want to play any of the other games we offer, we have Pokemon, Digimon, One Piece, and Lorcana. This weekend is EX05 release. We have a case tournament for that on Saturday. Get your Nats practice in for that. Get your cards for that event. The week after that is our Lorcana 1K. Lorcana organized play was just announced today. Store championships. So get some practice in. Get some prize money there as well. We have Paldean Fates the week after that. Come pick up some shiny versions of Pokemon cards. That is going to be a fantastic set. We'd love to have you. We also stream Pokemon on Thursdays, 6:30 with fantastic coverage. We'll have our challenge at the end of the month as well. If you're looking to join our Discord, check out the QR code there. Yes, Burn did win.
Did indeed.
Vern did indeed win. If you want to check out his deck list or any one of the other deck lists that were featured tonight, join our Discord using the QR code in the bottom right-hand corner there. Chat with all of our players, get help with your trades, discuss deck lists, and find a play group. Click the QR, take a picture of the QR code there. If you're looking to play some super competitive Magic, join us February 17th and 18th in Elmhurst, Illinois for our double showdown weekend, the week before the Pro Tour. Same formats as the Pro Tour. 2 chances to qualify for champs and 2 chances to get points on that leaderboard to qualify at the end of the year with at-large bids as well. Our player pool has increased to 24. Our prize pool has increased to $35,000. Invites to the regional championship. Invites to the Pro Tour for our championship event. Be there or be square. Sign up on Melee today. With that being said, that'll wrap up our coverage for tonight. You have been a fantastic audience, and Dom, you've been a fantastic co-host. Thank you as always.
Thank you for having me.
Have a good night, folks.
Toodles.